place in the woods of North Carolina.
In the crap part of Charlotte.
It's a beautiful place. I wouldn't say it's crap, but this is the Sunday Showdown. Michael Leavine, Zane the Bearded One, here to call the action from virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. The big boys may be at home and self-quarantined and isolation distance because no one wants to get, I can't say that word on YouTube because they'll demonetize this channel, but no one wants to get sick. So here we are hanging out at home, watching the boys of the esports world go at it with hot action at Hotlanta. Mike, how you doing today?
Man, I'm good. It's good to be here. It's good to be live. It feels good, man.
It feels weird to be on YouTube with you and not be on Roundabout for the first time.
It is a lot.
It's very interesting. But today we have 3 of some of the best league drivers on the PlayStation side: Midnight, Venom, Outlaw Nation, which I know these guys very intimately because I call them at least once a week during their season. But here we are now. We're actually calling some of the. It almost seems like it's deja vu a little bit because 2 weeks ago we were doing the Extra Life charity event for 6 leagues one night, 5 drivers of each league. But now we're over here on the Outlaw, Venom, and Midnight side, and it's going to be interesting. We got a couple of interviews we're going to get through tonight. We're trying to get things still set up because I picked up my entire gear and equipment, and we ran over to Mike's house. So we're hanging out in the Roundabout Studios, which is his place. It's a lovely studio. I like the medals on the wall still. It's my favorite part of the room.
Hey, got to rep Extra Life.
Hey, you got to. But, let's see if we can't talk to some of the drivers that decided to put this whole event together.
Let's do it.
So the first man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Smoke Fan. This is Zane in the booth. You got a copy, buddy.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
And I can hear myself. I love it.
I love it.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to get this thing rolling.
Ready to get this thing rolling. Now, we're going to talk to all three league guys today. But I want to talk to you. What made you guys come together? And what brought you to kind of say Outlaw wants to do this? The big boys are racing, but the little kids are going to play it. You're not kids, but you are because 28 kids in my pro league life. Look at just my kids. That was your daddy. But here we are racing in Atlanta. You brought two other leagues with you. Let's go put on a show. The Sunday Showdown. What really inspired you guys to do this?
Well, we've figured, heck, since the NASCAR race is canceled, why do we got to stop racing altogether? So I figured go out there and get Venom and Midnight, the other 2 top leagues on the PlayStation side. I got together with them. I ran some ideas across them. They thought it was a good idea. They got their guys together, and that's how it came about. We didn't want to see racing end, so we figured we'd do what we could to keep it going.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. So with that, where are you starting tonight? What are you expecting? With Atlanta.
We just qualified 4th. Not what we wanted, but we'll take it. This is a lot of cars, Zane. We gotta let the race play out. Be very patient. We just gotta hang around and try to be there at the end.
Well, good luck to you tonight. And I think Mike is actually running, trying to go find some people right now that he's going to talk with. Let's see if he's with them.
All right. Well, I'm with my good buddy and actually LFG driver, the Bear. Bear, you got me, bud?
What's going on there, Michael?
How's it going, man? Long time no talk.
Oh, yes, sir. Just hanging around, sitting on G, waiting on O.
I hear you, man. So you're starting up front tonight, starting on the front row, starting on pole even. What do you got to do today to this is a long race, to keep it up front?
Man, the key word today is patience. Got a long race, a lot of good drivers, quality field today. Going to start out and try to set the pace early and be there when it counts.
Well, I know from working with you over the last year, patience is not always one of your strong suits. So, how have you been working on that? What have you been doing to try and up your patience?
Well, just trying to understand that the pay window's at the end of this thing, and it's not on lap 5. So, we've been working real hard in the off season, mainly towards season 2 of the Pro League, to try to get a little bit more patience in my brain and just understand that we ain't got to have it all at one time and just go from there. So.
All right,
we're going to get after it today.
Sounds like your patience stat has definitely increased this year. We're looking forward to it, bud. Zane, who you got?
I got a young Chase Elliott, as I call him, Mr. Slade, the #1 draft pick for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League Season 1. and a sniffle as well. You got allergies, bro? Are you sick? Like, do I got to wear a mask?
That was wow! I can't believe you just said that.
Well, as you drop an octave in your voice there, I can't believe you just said that. The boy from down the street from Dawsonville, Slade, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm running around like crazy. I got a shirt on, some pants, some flip flops, drinking an energy drink. But it's all about you guys. What brought Midnight to the circle and say, you know what, let's race with Smoke Fan and the Bear with Venom and Outlaw?
Smoke just came to me and said, we're thinking about doing a race this weekend when the Cup race will be going. Atlanta Motor Speedway, we want to try to get as many people as possible, and especially with the showcase races coming up. I was all for it, just because we're going to be racing, or some of these guys will race each other anyway this Wednesday and the Wednesday after. So that was a great idea, promotional-wise, just because we're not racing this week. Or this weekend for the NASCAR Cup Series, so I was all for it.
And with the NASCAR Cup Series not racing tonight, and you guys are out on the track, are you gonna try to put that 21 Wood Brothers machine in the victory lane?
We're gonna try. We got a ways to go. I didn't expect to qualify this good. I'm usually not really good at qualifying to begin with, especially with a field this big. So we got a long ways to go from 13th to 1st.
Well, good luck to you. Hopefully we'll see you in victory lane in that 21 Wood Brothers machine, Ford Mustang. But, Mike, I think you're with a delicious lunchtime treat, Mr. Sloppy Joe.
I did. I ran all the way down to the other end of the grid. Sloppy, you got me?
I got you, man. How you doing?
Doing good, friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just getting ready to go racing against the best of the best at my home track, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, and like you said, it's the best of the best here, and you're starting at the tail end of the field. What are you going to have to do to get that thing up front?
Yeah, so, well, like I said, this is the best of the best, and starting in the back is never the best thing in the world when you're going against the fastest guys out there. But like Bear said earlier, this is a long race, and you think it's going to be it's going to end quick when you're going about 200 miles per hour into the corner, but it takes a while. So this is all going to be about just having some patience, taking our time, saving the car for when it counts the most. And I'm always going to say, you can't win the race on lap one, but you can sure as hell win it on the last lap. So that's the whole mentality of this thing. We're just going to take our time. I think we got a good piece under our Caterpillar Chevy Camaro ZL1. So we'll see what we got tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And with one of these longer races, how much is pit strategy going to come into play for you?
Yeah. Pitch strategy is definitely something I think everybody's thinking about. What you're probably going to see here today is you're going to see guys pitting before we run out of fuel. Tire wear here is a really big issue. Atlanta Speedway, I think it's the oldest pavement out there right now, and it certainly does the same here on NASCAR Heat 4. Which is great. I love it. It makes everybody have different strategies and whatnot. You're going to see guys coming in a bit early to make sure they get the fresh rubber to get faster laps and beat people. You're going to see people try to extend and maybe get a little bit more fuel in the tank while saving the tires to get to the end of the run. You're going to see so many different strategies, and we're just going to kind of play it by ear and see what the rest of the field does.
Sounds good, man. Well, you got your work cut out for you. I'll let you get back to focusing in for pre-race. Zane, what do you got?
I'm with the Outlaw Nation champion of Season 1, the inaugural season. He is in the draft pool for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League on the PlayStation side. The man, the myth, the Lockjaw Bulldog. How you doing today, Bulldog?
Oh, man, I'm hanging here like a hair in a biscuit. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. So my first question for you tonight, are you wearing your lucky jacket?
Oh, you know it, buddy. You know it. I got it on.
Go ahead. You got it on?
No, you're good.
Oh, I was going to say, most guys don't know that Bulldog is now superstitious. He always wears his jacket with him because he's won a championship in it. Is Mama Bulldog hanging out there? She got her nachos ready. She's sitting back watching the show?
Sadly, no. I wish she could be here today. She's currently at work, though, but plan to get her going good, pretty good today.
Hey, hopefully she'll be able to watch the rebroadcast. I'll miss her in chat because she used to do great at giving me the lap counts, but luckily we got some good in-car cameras from some guys tonight. What do you have to do, though, to put this car into victory lane and to walk out of here an inaugural, champion of champions?
Well, we're just gonna be calm, patient. Wait for the right time to pounce and be calm. Just ride for those first two stages, man, because you ain't gonna win it. Just like everybody else sitting here, you ain't gonna get the job done on lap 1. You ain't gonna get the job done on lap 27. So it's just ride and get some of these laps down. We'll race to the end.
Good luck to you tonight. I assume you're driving the 47 car.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see that 47 in victory lane tonight here at Atlanta. Save those tires. It's a long race. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, man.
And then, Mike, I think you're hanging out there with the crew chief, now qualifier, J-Mons.
Yeah, J-Mons, you got me, bud?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Well, first off, I believe happy birthday is in order?
Yes, sir. Today I turned the big 32.
Wow, look at you, man. Happy birthday. And so, obviously, big race today. It's going to be a long one. So what's going through your head today as we get ready to start rolling?
Well, being that I joined in late to this little race that we're going to have today, didn't have much time to really practice on it, but I know what I've got. I've ran a couple of little races before here, trying to shape up and see what I've got. Just kind of manage the tires, like everyone else is saying. The right rear is going to burn up. It's just a matter of managing that throughout the race, and you're not going to see the end of a fuel run. So just being patient. I'm starting in P26 on the back since I missed qualifying. So I've got a big job ahead of me today.
Like you said, you're starting pretty deep in the field. You feel like with a little practice time and a lot of really good talent in the field, you feel like you got a pretty good shot at getting up front?
It's just getting in the right line at the right time, and hopefully no accidents happen. Everyone plays their cards correctly, and we can have it clean and green throughout the whole race, and we'll see what we can do. A lot of talent in this field.
All right, man. Well, like you said, happy birthday. Hopefully you get a great birthday present at the end of the race, and we'll hopefully see you in victory lane.
I appreciate that, Mike. Zane, thank y'all for jumping on board and doing this.
Anytime. I will also say this, Mike. I'm with Mike RPM, but before I talk to Mike, I just want to say there's an old wives' tale, I guess you can say, that if you've ever seen All Dogs Go to Heaven, the grand jockey always wins on his birthday. The birthday boy always wins a race when he's being broadcasted. I've seen it happen 6 out of 6 times. So J-Mon starting in the back may find his way up front when the checker flag flies tonight.
Could be some good odds.
It could. If you're a betting man, you may want to go with J-Mons. I'm just saying, but not to be down and out, not to underplay him. I'm with the man, the myth, the 6'5" giant himself, Mr. Mike RPM. Mike, how you doing?
Great, Zane. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's a little chilly, but you know what? We got some hot racing at Hotlanta. And how are you feeling about your car and getting thrown into this event tonight?
The car's pretty good. We're starting 6th, so we wanted to be up there in that top 10. I think the biggest thing is going to be track position. Just keeping it up front that whole time. Just like Bear said, be patient though. Don't make mistakes, and getting into pit road clean is going to be big too. So we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a good race.
Well, good luck to you. Hopefully we'll see you in victory lane at the end of the race. We'll let you get prepared as you're rolling off here tonight. Or today. I keep saying the night because I'm so used to the night broadcast. It's a day race for once. The sun's out. I feel like a vampire that got woken up in his sleep all of a sudden. But good luck to you, Mike. Going
Appreciate
to the
that.
other, though, Mike, Mr. Leavine, it's a 50% race here at Atlanta. 4 times wear, 2 stages. We'll have 2 manual pace laps so the drivers can get in order. And really, it's the cream of the crop, as Macho Man Randy Savage says. Cream of the crop rises to the top, and we're seeing that here today on the NASCAR heat side with these PlayStation drivers coming together. So I'm really excited to kind of see what's going to happen. As a guy who's been to the track, who's seen the races, who've helped drivers and been on that side, what does it take to win in Atlanta or just be competitive?
Man, a lot of it is sustained speed over the course of the run. There's guys who will be able to fire off the fastest for the first couple laps. But, man, as soon as your tires start to go away, if you abused them early, you're going to slow down big. So it's going to be about having that sustained speed all the way through the run. Mm-hmm. There is such a thing as taking too good a care of your tires at the beginning of a run also, and then you never make the speed back up. So it's finding that right balance of pushing the car without chewing through your tires too quickly.
Yep, and it's Atlanta, so I like to call it the cheese grater of tires.
Absolutely. So
we're going to have to wait and see. I know a lot of these guys try to balance out that right rear wear to get it even across all 4 tires. Track Bar on the Xbox side is a master at trying to figure out the balance of a car. Bear himself, he's a master at trying to find the balance. Smoke is a pick road adjustments. He usually I should have asked him because he always tells me his car's junk. So if he said his car's junk, he's got a good piece tonight. So it's only a matter of time. I want to talk to Smoke Fan one more time. Are you guys almost ready down there getting gridded?
Yes, we're working on that as we speak.
All right.
All right. Just give me a heads up if you can.
And give me
Will
that
do.
invite.
Give me that invite. We'll go ahead and join it. While we're going, waiting on that invite. We'll take a quick break.
Come back to the action here at virtual Hot Atlanta Motor Speedway in Atlanta, and we'll get back to the show. Thank you for hanging out, chat. Wonderful to see you in here. We see a lot of people hanging out tonight or today. I keep saying tonight. I think I'm gonna have to put $1 in a tip jar every time I say tonight. Like
might be becoming a fine.
It might become a fine. It's also one of those things like when you do a truck race and you call them cars and they're like, no, that's a fine. It's like, oh, here we go. But take a quick break, grab yourself something to eat, grab a drink, pull up a seat, call your friends, your grandma, tell them that it is the Sunday Showdown here on the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel. We'll be right back with me and Michael Leavine here on YouTube.
All right. I'm making the lobby right now. All right. Let me see here. I am. Okay. Good. Better. Good.
Hey, Bear, I don't know if they can hear us on the broadcast, bro. Let's hop in the other chat.
Switch over when need be.
And we're back at Hot Atlanta Motor Speedway, the virtual hotness. I don't know how hot was it in Atlanta? Because I know you're in Atlanta, Mike.
I was in Atlanta yesterday. It was not very hot, to be honest with you.
Was it as like
reasonable.
the weather is here in Charlotte right now?
Actually, yes. Overcast, kind of cool.
Yeah.
You almost wanted a hoodie, but not quite. Yeah.
So with talking about Atlanta, we talked about it earlier. It's the cheese grater of tires. The drivers are getting ready to get gridded. It's a lot of negotiations and communications going on right now. We are in the Discord listening. Bear is a taskmaster.
Yes, he
Smoke is the second in command, just shouting orders at their drivers. But it's 162 laps, 3 stages. The first stage, second stage, final stage. 3 times wear is what we found out. And really, when it comes down to that, you're looking at anywhere between 25 to 32 laps on fuel and tires. When we're probably going to average and guess that tire wear is going to become more important than fuel mileage.
Absolutely will, yeah.
Now, we usually play a game, as you've been part of the team before. You're over under. So if you had to pick on an over under, Nicky Jobs, the Vegas odds man, isn't here today to give us his odds. But what is your over under on cautions?
Man, these PlayStation guys are good. I'm gonna say 6 over.
Oh, 6 over?
Yeah.
God, that's like
because this is a tough one, man. You start sliding around, all it takes is a little slip up, and you're into another guy, and everything hits the fan. So I'm gonna say 6 over.
6 over. That's almost where I wanted to go. Since you're gonna go 6 over. I've seen Outlaw race week in, week out. Those guys average probably 6 cautions all season long, really. But now you have the mixture of Midnight and Venom in the show. So different personalities, different driving styles. I've called a Venom race. Those guys are really good as well. God, I'm going to go 8. And I'm going to go 8 over, but I'm not going to go any higher than 11. Like, I think 8 to 11.
So between 8 and 11.
Yeah, I think you actually have the money spot, though, with 6.
Yeah, I'm going to say, if we're going to put it in a range, I'm going to say 6 to 8 is what I would say.
Okay, all right.
6 to 8. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been a part of the team as well. Chat, please throw into yours. We're here hanging out with you guys while we're waiting on the show to start. What do you think your over and under is for cautions here tonight? You have 30 or 28 plus drivers racing here in Atlanta. You know how 3 times wear handles, how the setups work. You got Midnight, Venom, and Outlaw Nation racing. So where do you think the caution flags will fly? We'd love to hear from you. You might get your number shouted out on the stream. Now, the other part of it is we play winner, dark horse, right? And you were part of that during the event. Now, Bear's starting on pole today.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go with Bear here. The guy's consistently fast, and he's really good at this tire wear stuff, man.
But, so Bear's on the pole, but outside pole is going to be Scout Bonk. And if most people know, Scout is the setup king, the hot lap guy. He's the one that you want to know how to set up a car. So out of the listed drivers that we have here, who would you actually pick as your winner tonight or today?
Man,
so
that's
many,
tough.
Right?
That is really tough. You know what? I'm still going to go with Bear as the winner, but I am going to go with Smoke Fan as my dark horse.
Smoke is your dark horse. All right, and you want Bear to win it?
I want Bear to win it, man.
All right.
I got to go with my guy here.
Well, if the voice of Stuart Haas Esports was here, Jake Morris, he would tell you that he's called the Cub on the streets. But, that's a good pick. Bear ran a 28.914 for a qualified time, and now he's sitting on the pole. And so Smoke Fan is your dark horse. As I'm looking through the list here, because you got Smoke, Scout, Max Boost, Diesel, Mike RPM, Jason A, or Jasona as I call him, Bulldog, Cheesa Beast, Fluffy. Ooh, Fluffy Stenhouse Jr.'s in the mix. I might have to go with Fluffy. But I think you know what? I am. My race winner is Fluffy Stenhouse Jr.
Okay.
I'm pulling it for Fluffy. And then my dark horse, because I saw the guy win a championship. He knows how to be consistent in the top 5, put himself up front to win a race. I'm going to go with Bulldog.
Okay, there
Bulldog's
you go.
my dark
there
horse.
You go. Now, we do have a couple votes coming in on the cautions. Looks like we've got Redleg saying 4 over.
Oh, all right.
And then we've got Easy E agreeing with my prediction of 6 over.
Oh, all right. And you got K Taddy saying a Season 1 Pro League champion is a dark horse. Laughy emoji, laughy emoji.
You know, that's fair.
You know, well, here's the thing: is you could say that, but it's a long race. Sometimes I've seen Smoke race; he can put himself up front, but I've also seen him make bad mistakes on pit road, bad adjustments, and put himself in the middle of a pack where he doesn't want to be. So it's fair to say you're still giving Smoke the credit he deserves as a race winner, but you're saying, you know what? He's just not my number 1 pick overall.
I would also remind everyone that Bear was on the team that tied in points with the Season 1 Pro League
so you
champion
took the easy
team.
way out is what just happened here.
I pretty much did. Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
You took the 1-2 people of the championship race for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League and decided to make them your 2 picks.
That's it. That's exactly it. So we also have a few picks coming in. We've got Bulldog as a dark horse. We've got Smoke as a pick for the win. Another Smoke pick for the win. So looking good.
All right, and I'm hearing. Let me check with the drivers real quick. Drivers, you guys are ready? You guys are ready? League drivers are ready. League owners are ready. Commentators, are we ready?
Oh, I think we're ready.
You guys can start this show whenever you're ready. That's fine. I'll back out if I mess it up, so don't worry. No. Roll, baby. I'll back out if I break it. I think I got in enough time where I'm not going to mess up their race. Hopefully I don't mess up their race, because if I mess up their race, I'm going to feel really mad. Just like the charity event a couple weeks ago where I just totally screwed the pooch on that race.
Yeah, we've done it before.
But you know what? It was still a good show. Tonight's going to be even better. We're loading into the lobby, getting ready to call the action here at Atlanta. Once the timer rolls down, hits 0, me and Mike are going to walk ourselves up to the booth, which is a long walk with no golf carts.
That's very long, man.
Yeah, well, hopefully someone shows up with a virtual golf cart to give us a ride, because I don't feel like walking right now.
I might know a guy.
These flip-flops were not made for walking. And now here we go, getting ready to load in. Chat, thanks for coming to hang out here on the Sunday Showdown with 3 of the best leagues on PlayStation. You have Venom, Midnight, Outlaw Nation, racing here, 162 laps at Atlanta Motor Speedway, loading in right now. And I really want to say thank you to Team Roundabout, for opening up their studio to us to let us come in here and do this show.
Hey, welcome to the studio. You and I have talked about this in the past, but we've got big plans for making these things bigger and better, using some of the production assets I have for other projects, and making these streams awesome. So first step, getting you here.
Yeah, that and trying not to rush out the door. That was a busy morning today. And all right, so we will take 2 manual pace laps. The drivers will get everything lined up in order as we're seeing them roll through right now. We should not be going green unless they decide to go green. No,
nope.
Nah.
Not that slow.
No. Yeah, you can see the back of the field there, sacking it up a little bit, getting in line. So, chat, like I said earlier, pull up a drink or grab a drink, pull up a seat, get something to eat, a snack. If you got some nachos, please share those with us. Love it. But as our front 2 sitters will be Bear and Scout Bonk in that 19. Let me pull up that list once again here that I had, because good old Bear sent me a starting order last night. So your top 5, the Bear, Scout Bonk, Max Boost, Smoke Fan, Diesel. Going from 6th on back will be Mike RPM, just Jason A, Bulldog, Cheeza, and Beast.
Then we'll have Fluffy, Too Fast, Slade, DK, and Dagger in 15th.
Starting 16th on the field will be Trans Am Blue, Galen, Zadris. I can't even pronounce your name. We're going to call you Z Drystra. And please message me quietly, privately, and tell me how to pronounce your name. Bags, and then Pat's Ace will be coming out 20th.
Starting 21st will be Jincy.
G-Cincy. Put some respect on his name.
That's my fault there. Coke, Ogre, Titan, and Flash 9 in 25th. 26th will be Racehead, and 27th, Kiefer. Keffer.
That's Jason Keffer.
I know.
For Junior Motorsports.
I've talked to him in person and messed up his name to his face.
So,
So
everyone thinks he's
it
Kiefer
happens.
Sutherland's stunt double, so it's okay.
He could be.
We also have Sloppy Joe making a late appearance today. J-Mons as well. There are a couple of drivers who did not make times. They will be starting shotgun on the field in the back as we get ready to go green flag racing here at Atlanta. I can't wait. I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. I'm also waiting for our in-car guys, since I thought Bear said he was going to do an in-car view, but he is not doing an in-car view. Bear, you are fired. Not really. I love you, buddy. Drivers are lined up, ready to go 2 by 2 as we come off of turn 4 for the final time. Green flag is in the air as we're going racing at the Showdown for Sunday.
Bear takes the lead early into 1. The 19 tucking in behind him. Looking like going to be a bit of a quiet start to this race, Zane.
Yeah, it's going to be a quiet start. It's Atlanta. It's 162 laps. But right now you have one of the fastest drivers beating and banging on that eNASCAR Heat Pro League 95 Toyota Camry of Scout Bonk. Behind him, the 41 as well. In line as we come off of turn 4, single filed out all the way back to 10th.
Get the Bear and the 95 getting a pretty good push from that 19 of Scout Bonk. That always changes the way your car goes into the corner a little bit. But Bear able to masterfully get it down to the line and motors right back off the corner down the backstretch.
And this is what Bear wants to see, though. Bear wants these guys to get in line and just be patient early on in this race. I don't think he wants to get to those side-by-side battles right now at this moment. It's still early. Everyone's trying to get used to everyone's driving styles. There was a lot of practice going on. As we come off of 4 and hit the stripe, your leader is still going to be the Bear in the 95 with the 19, the 41, and I think that's the 22 in tow back there in 4th. And I assume that's the 41, or I think that could be the 14 of Smoke Fan, actually, if we take a look here.
Yeah, tough to see, but we're still single file going down the backstretch here, and it'll be interesting to see guys fan out as tires start to wear. But right now, everybody content to hug that bottom line and just log lap time here. And here we are on board with the 22 of Diesel.
Diesel right there, an eNASCAR Heat Pro League Season 1 driver. Behind him is going to be Smoke Fan in the 14. And there's that 20 machine. Let's see if we can't get our eyes on him. You see, it's hard to bounce through as we try to find the drivers. There we go. 47, we got a side-by-side. There's Slade, Chase Elliott Jr. on the inside of the one car. He's going to put him behind him. And now he's going to work on the 47 of Bulldog that's in front of him going into 1.
Slade making some good progress through the field here. Interesting to see as he continues to fight his way forward, but this kid's pretty good.
He's actually a heck of a driver. The best part about this race, though, is if we see the action starting to heat up front, let's see if we can't get to it. 2 by 2 by 2 as we come off of turn 3, turn 4, the 41. Bear dropping back like a rock in the Lakahatchee. He's going to get a push from the 22 of Diesel on that outside line, but no one's really helping.
And now we're starting to see these guys fan out a little bit as tires are wearing out, and patience is wearing out a little bit. It gets hard to stay patient as your car starts slipping and sliding around, and suddenly you're not the fastest guy on the field anymore.
Not the fastest guy in the field right now, but the fastest sometimes on PlayStation. Scout Bonk in that 19 ahead of the 14 of Smoke Fan. I really feel like I should have asked him, how's that car? Because he's probably going to tell me it was junk because now he's beating the bumper off that 19 as they go into turn 1.
Would be interesting to see here, Zane, as we dive into 1, how hard some of these guys are pushing and how conservative some of these other guys are playing. That's always going to be a factor here in our order.
And Smoke Fan dices it down to the inside of the 19. He's going to make it 2 by 2. He's got help from his Outlaw Nation friend and buddy driver, that champion of Season 1, and that 47, a Bulldog, giving him a push as they're 2 by 2 off of 4 down the front stretch. Give that lap to Smoke Fan.
And you see set up a little bit of a problem there for the 19 as his nose pushed through the center there. He wasn't able to hold it tight to the 14. You can see the nose just slide up the racetrack a little bit. That's going to make for a long stint until you can get to pit road and start making adjustments.
Oh, and you heard in-car on in-car because we finally got our in-car camera. Let's take a look. That's going to complete lap 10 of 41 of stage 1. And this battle right now is going to heat up. I've watched these guys race all season long. The 14, the 47, a lot of respect But Bulldog knows how to get under under Smoke Fan's skin. He knows how to get around him.
And you can see right there, Bulldog just putting his nose to the left rear quarter panel, just poking it in there, not really doing anything, just making him think about it.
He's making him think, but he's also trying to remind him, hey, I'm here. There's pressure on me. And take a look. The 21 of Slade, Chase Elliott Jr., the little man from not Dawsonville, but he could be, has now moved his way up to third. He's in line on that bottom groove. On the outside is going to be the 41 all alone with no help as they come through 1 and 2. And I think a caution may be out.
I believe we're under caution here, Zane.
I think we are under caution. Caution is out on the track. Drivers are slowing it up. So let's take a quick moment here and just think about this. Slade coming all the way from midfield up. So you know he's going to take tires. Smoke Fan, same thing. Bulldog giving a little bit of push there to the 14, saying, hey, buddy, how's it going? How's your mama? My mama's at work, but I still want some nachos. You know, at least all these guys are going to take tires. Look at our front row sitters at the start of the race. The Bear and Scout Bonk back there sitting 6th and 5th in the running order. So you know those guys had to either burn everything up to get that car where they had to go. Now they're going to be sitting back here. Question is it too tight on that late run?
You know, it's tough to say right now. I mean, it's all going to be about these guys are getting a feel for how the race is going, right? How hard are guys pushing? Yep. How guys aren't pushing? It's tough to say up here in the booth, right? So it's going to be interesting to see who does what in the order here and on pit road.
And I'm a little worried that we had no audio for the race the whole time. We haven't had audio for the race. So haha, sorry, Chad. We are a professional stream company, and I just realized there was no audio. So there are no engines, which I apologize for, because everyone loves the sounds of motors. Trying to set things up, sometimes you forget. But we love you anyway, so thank you for notifying us in chat, because I bet you were. But here's the question. 2 tires, 4 tires this first stop.
You know, if there's a time to gamble on 2 tires and just see if it's going to work for your car, it's right now.
Yeah. So if you're talking to Bear over the headset, what are you telling me?
You know, where Bear's sitting right now, I'm telling him, let's come in, let's take 2, let's see what it does to the car. That way we can get a feel for it later on in the race. If this situation happens later in the race, we know what. Like everybody opting to come down pit road.
Yeah. Pit road is going to be a busy pit road here in Atlanta. Everyone's coming up over the wall. Everyone's probably going to I'm going to see 4 tires at this point. Early in the run, you kind of saw how your car did in that 13 lap stint. Now you got to decide, what are we going to do?
Some beating and banging on pit road there.
That's a beautiful looking 3 car, I got to say. Very patriotic.
That is. I love that scheme. Racehead picking a great scheme from the 3 car there. That red, white, and blue car always stands out on the track.
It almost reminds me of Hulk Hogan. The real American heroes. They're getting off back up, ready to race. Once again. Wrap up this back in race. Smoke Man on the inside, Bulldog on the outside. The 41, the 21 behind, or the 40 and the 21 behind him. The 19 just got a bump from the 95 on that inside line as they're lining up. We got a Ford, a Mustang, a Chevy. I'm sorry, a Ford, a Chevy, a Ford. Rounding out our top 5, and a lone Toyota sitting there in 5th.
That tends to be how it goes, Zane. The Toyotas tend to be outnumbered here. But it'll be interesting to see these guys. There's some fast cars sitting about 4th, 5th, 6th. We'll see what happens if we dive into one here.
Take a pace lap around, let everyone get in the line, kind of get the jitters out. So lights are still on. Wait, lights are off this time. As you can if you could make a pace car that you would it be a truck, a Jeep, a Caddy?
I would say it should be one of the Toyota Camry TRDs.
That's easy, man, on brand.
Yeah. Those are nice cars, by the way. I don't know if you've seen them. Those TRD Camrys.
No, I haven't.
Beautiful cars. Excellently equipped. Pricing is actually very reasonable for a car with that kind of equipment.
Really?
Yeah. You should go check one out at your local Toyota dealership.
Also, I love your agent there. The little man that is carried around everywhere.
Yeah, he's my agent. He negotiates all my deals.
No, he wins them with cuteness, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? Mike had a baby a few weeks ago, and it's the most adorable kid I've ever seen.
Yeah, he does pretty good for himself.
And the green flag is out once again as we're racing here in Atlanta. Smoke Fan is going to take him into turn 1 with Bulldog at the inside, but he's going to fall back as they still 2x2 Smoke the Pied Piper.
Smoke out front playing both lanes there on the restart, you can see. And you can tell the 47 checked up a little bit into one there with him in front of him. Didn't quite dive it off into the top lane like he needed to hold on to that outside line.
No, but the 40 is going to sneak right up to the mark of the 14 with the 19 Scout Bomber on board with the 95 of the Bear, who's sitting back there in 4th, as he's going to get the 19 of the strike. Those Toyotas teaming up against those Fords now.
And that's what you'll see. The Toyotas tend to work together pretty well. They're going to push each other out to the front, and then it's every man for himself.
Every man for himself, but Bear's very good. I'll say this. He'll work with you until the end, until 5 laps to go, and then he'll find a way to get you out of the cage. That's a great Leighton Dale Earnhardt used to say. And Bear's almost that. He's an Earnhardt and a Toyota.
Absolutely. And you can see that McDonald's machine of Max Boost up there just hanging on the outside. That's a tough lane to run early in the run.
Especially when everyone able to stick this thing from the bottom, just throw the car in there and not have to worry about it sliding. He's in no man's land. I'd like to say he's falling back like a rock in a lack of hatching, because he has dropped back to 10th, 11th, 12th almost now, still on that outside with no help. Smoke Man as well on that outside with no help. But Scout, our Pied Piper, with the 95 of the Bear behind him. He's a 22 of Diesel, and that Slade Jr. sitting there in 21 is going to be running under top 5.
Hey, what's going to happen though, Zane, is these guys running the top. It's a little bit easier on their tires. It's going to last a little bit longer. Expect to see them start to make a little bit of a charge late in this run.
But how long will you sit up there, right? Once again, you talked about it in pre-race. You let your tires wear, right slow, nice and smooth. It's still not going to make those speed up.
That's that delicate balance, man. And it's all about feeling out your competitors. How hard are these guys pushing? The harder the guys up front push, the more they're going to come back to you at the end of the run.
Single file back, out all the way back to 12. And there goes Bear diving into the inside. He's going to make a hard charge on the 19 of Scout Bonk, making it 2x2 as they go to 3 and 4. Off of turn 4, still door to door, 2 cars wide as they come down the front stretch, and that lap's going to go to the 95 to Bear.
And the Bear there in that 95 just said, I want to be out front, I want to lead this race. But he's got the 20 there right up his trumpet, just keeping him honest.
Yep, Max Boost that 20 on lap 20 has moved his way to second place as we're halfway through stage 1.
And very interesting racing there, a couple rows back though. These guys on the outside are really holding the bottom line tight. That's a dangerous gamble, because if one of those guys gets squirrely underneath you, it's going to take you both.
Bear stuck in no man's land on the outside this time. As we go through turn 1, Max Boost going to move his way up front, move Bear to second, now third, now battling on the outside with the 14 of Smoke Fan. And now they're going to pump to the outside. Ford and Toyota trying to pull that 95 to their bumper.
And the draft is a big deal down the backstretch here, and you can see the guys up top with no draft. It's they're starting to suffer a little bit. A fast car can help make up for that, but it's not everything.
Right on this foot cam with the 95 of the Bears. We're watching this battle in the top 6, and you really see 2 lanes of traffic, Mike, like you're talking about. You have that high and mid. A lot of guys are going to use that middle one.
Yeah, and you can see these guys fan out down the backstretch here, finding their lane for the corner, and almost a little contact there between 2 of those cars. One of them, the 47, and it appeared to be the other one, the 19 of Scout Bonk. So guys starting to dice it up a little bit.
All right, fans, let us know if the audio works a little bit better, as we like to balance it, and it's never the best. And I'm hearing a hard lift in that motor right now from the 95. I think we are under yellow once again.
I believe we are under caution here. And we're going to take a moment under caution to work on our audio just a little bit. Tell us in the chat how it sounds, if you can hear us a little better.
I honestly think it was just because I cranked up the audio. I went straight to crank it up mode.
We did. We went to crank it up and didn't even know it.
Using a new keyboard and mouse today. We don't like to give brand names as a nondescript keyboard and mouse, but it's a different system for me, so I'm getting used to it a little bit. The audio should be cleaned up at this point. I cranked it down. Please let us know how it's working for you guys on the onboard here with the Bear as we're riding on yellow.
So again, interesting to see what choices these guys make here There's a little bit of a longer run there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see everybody take 4 just to start over.
I would definitely take, if I was driving right now, give me 4 fresh Goodyears.
Where are we at on lap count here, Zane?
Right now under lap count, we are sitting about lap 23, I want to say. 10 laps to go. That's not 10 laps to go, sorry. I can't look because the drivers are doing fuel mileage strategy at the moment as we're watching the in-car camera from Bulldog as he's flipping around, showing us his average fuel mileage he's got left, estimated fuel, so I don't like to give that out because drivers are really trying to work on that car. And as everyone comes down pit road, once again, we're going to see all the drivers, I assume, come down pit road.
I do feel comfortable saying, though, his engine is running at a balmy 217 degrees.
Well, that's what happens when you put some grip and some tape on there.
Well, real world, you can stand a hell of a lot more tape. That's about 60 degrees off.
When do you start worrying as an owner driver?
You really start to worry. Well, I can't give specifics.
Okay. Well,
call it up. You're definitely, your oil temperature is well above 250
at all times
as it runs around the racetrack.
Okay. 250. So we're here. We're gonna take a quick little break, grab ourselves a drink, catch our breath. I need an oxygen tank with this action going on here at Atlanta. Tell your friends once again the Sunday Showdown here at Hotlanta. And we'll be back in a few moments. So you either have I'm going to blame Mike on that one.
Yeah, blame the mixer guy.
Hey, you're the sound engineer.
I said at the beginning of this, sound not my strong suit.
But hopefully that's going to fix the audio issues. If I'm still low, I apologize. No one really wants to hear my bearded voice anyways. Everyone came to listen to you, Mr. Leavine.
I don't know about that. I don't think everybody came to listen to the amateur here.
You're not an amateur. You've done it once, twice. You've done it twice, technically.
I've done it twice, I think.
You're an old vet at this time.
I don't know about that.
Let's bounce to the cars here so we get back up to the front. And Mike, who's in that 6 Ford Oscar Mayer Wienermobile?
I have no idea. I put my phone down. That would be the number 6 of Chiza.
And this is interesting because Chiza drove the 95. He drove the cheesy pizza.
Oh, really?
Yeah, cheesy. Yeah.
Very nice.
In Outlaw Nation. So it's weird to see him in this 6 Oscar Mayer Velveeta Wienermobile. And with Air, I guess, kind of gave that 95 to the Pro League driver so he can run his own scheme.
Can I say the 95 cheesy pizza paint scheme, my least favorite of the 95 paint schemes?
Really?
I just got to be honest. Yep. I like the other Barstool one better.
The blue one?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Red, white, and blue. Excellent scheme. Very patriotic feeling.
And Cheese is no stranger of being up front right now. As he's fell back, though, he's getting pushed by the one. We have a 3-way battle for the lead. Let's see if we can't get our eyes on that. As the cars are bouncing through 2 by 2 as we come off of 4. Smoke Fan on the inside. There we go. Smoke Fan now battling like it's the last lap with the 19 and the 20. The 95 of the Bear has snuck up to the picture, but take a look. There's that 47 Camaro working his way up into the top, into the picture. He wants to win this race, but it's still really early as we're still about, I would say, 15 laps to go left in stage 2 or stage 1.
And Zane, don't look now, but the 21 of Slade working his way into third here, following behind the 19 and the 95 of Bear.
And here we go again. Smoke Fan knocked to the outside, pushed up, nowhere to go in no man's land, but he's got help of the 20 of Max. And really, you got to wonder, is that just where his car is feeling good and that's where he wants to sit? As we got a battle going on up front, let's see if we can't get our eyes on it. Back up front, the 19, the 95, and the 21 nose to tail. Single file all the way back to the 47 of Bulldog, about 6th.
And we're just looking at the chat here, some of the guys weighing in on their favorites. Amber Harbin, you may know that name.
Is that Mama Bear?
Her personal favorite is the Pro League 95.
That's unfair. That's your husband. You can't say that.
But as we go down the backstretch here, Zane, it looks like guys are starting to settle in a little bit. Bear not making those wild moves to the inside he's known for. Guys just kind of settling in a little bit, I think.
And this is that point. It's late in the first stage as we're looking down from the blimp cam. This action with the 95, the 19, the 21. Your top three will be the 19, the 95, and the 21. And you're seeing right now they're starting to figure out what they got to do. They've had two pit stops at this point. They've made those adjustments. They've had a decent-sized mid-run and a short run. So they know where that car is really going to handle, where it's going to work. The question becomes now, how long is Scout going to stay up front? Because we've seen this show before, the 95 and the 19, and they fell back.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of a challenge for third there. I believe that was the 47, a Bulldog, challenging Slade for third. But like you said, I think guys, they've felt out their car. They know what they need to do. Now let's just ride it out to the stage.
And that's the hardest thing right now is be patient. As we're watching this battle with the 95, trying to get the cameras on it. Trying to take a look here with the 47. Where did he start today on that field?
Zane, it looks like he started 8th on the field in row 4.
Okay. My controller didn't want to work there for a second. It would help if you actually were on it. There we go. There's 21. He's going to fall back to 4th. He lost that battle with the 47. Now he's all alone in no man's land, getting pressure from the 18. But I want to find Bulldog. Bulldog's moving through this field. There he is, sitting in 3rd right now. That lone Chevrolet now moving up to this tandem of Toyotas. That was a mouthful. If you didn't know, it was a little hard to say. This tandem of Toyotas running 1, 2 of Bear and Scout. Bulldog in the 47 right up to the bumpers. We come down the backstretch. He's going to give him a push all the way down into 3. But is he going to dive bomb it? No, he's going to stay in line. That's going to let the 21 of Slade sneak up in the draft. Now we got a 4-car battle for the lead.
And who's that sitting there in 5th? I believe that is the 18 of DK Brown, starting to run this pack of 4 down as well.
And DK Brown, an eNASCAR Heat Pro League driver, came in late in the season 1, showed what he could do. Here he is riding in the top 5, and behind him, I can't quite get a number on that car. It's the number 4. It's the 4 car, and that's going to be of Mike RPM running 4th.
So starting to see some new faces up front as guys are able to dial their cars in a little bit and start working their way through traffic. And we're seeing a little bit of a breakout here of it appears to be about the top 8, top 9, breaking away from the rest of the field.
And these guys are single file. No one's getting out of line. Everyone's staying inside the draft. They're nose to tail. We're watching this action right now with the 47 because he's the hot mover right now. Pushed his way up to the bumper of these Toyotas, and he might be the one to lead this challenge. Oh, Bear knocking Scout out of the way. Scout to the outside, Bear to the inside. That's going to hurt Scout Bunk. If he can get his composure, he's going to drive right back up there, try to battle for this lead. But at the moment, the 95 is your new race leader.
That was a hell of a shot to the shorts. The good thing for Scout Bunk here, the worst he's going to fall to is about 9th because this pack has been able to break away a little bit.
And we see Slade there in the 21 starting to sneak to the inside. The 47 of Bulldog leaving that door open just a little bit through the apex of the corners. But now it's like a flying V behind the front two. Everyone's starting to fan out a little bit. You got a 2x2 battle, about 4 cars deep. And this is really where I talked about in pre-race, talking about Bulldog in the 47 car. The kid is consistent. He knows what he needs to do to put this car up front. Right now, he's putting some pressure on your driver, the 95 of Bear. And the question is Bear going to treat him like hit him with a hind like he did with Scout, or is he going to let him go? He's working that car. He's pushing that car as much as he can right now. All these guys in the top 8 are. As we come off of 4, once again, Slade slides to the inside. Bulldog left the door open. It's a 2-car battle for second position.
And that's the thing. You can work the guy over all you want to, but if you don't keep an eye on your mirror, guys are going to sneak up on you, stick their nose inside, and you're going to be hung out on the outside by yourself.
And how long will you sit? How long will you be patient, Mike? You're a driver. You've driven before. How patient were you as a driver?
I think a lot of people would tell you not very, and that's probably why I'm not driving anymore. No, but it's
I hate to see the repair bill of that car.
It was not good, man. It was not good. But no, I think you're starting to see that. I think you're starting to see some guys are being patient, and other guys, look at Slade. He's challenging for the lead here with the 95, diving it to the inside, and we were very nearly very wide there. Oh, and we got a big wreck on the backstretch.
That's definitely going to bring out a caution. 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. They're racing to the line. That's right, they race to the line here in this series. And it's Slade to the inside. The 95 they touch. I think it's going to go to the 21 of Slade.
I think it did too. And then a little bit of a spin there after the after the yellow flag came out. Big contact between the 21 and the 95 there. 95 nose into the wall. And we saw that little bit of a physics glitch where the 95 stopped dead. That doesn't actually happen in real life.
No, I think he just kind of slammed on the brakes and just closed his eyes and prayed. He's like, help me, Tom Cruise. Let this car come out clean. Well, that's going to bring out the third caution of the day. You're getting closer and closer to that over-under number of 6.
Problem is, you're getting closer and closer to that over-under number of 8 to 12.
I thought I said 11.
It might have been 8 to 11.
I know, I'm all right there. I'm still good. And that's going to be the end of stage 1 as well. So
okay, so that was the end of the stage.
And I think that's the big wreck at the end, rounding out the stage. I think Slade did take that stage win right there.
It did appear he got him at the line.
Oh, Bear actually is going to be starting on the front line here with the 21 of Slade on his outside, the 22 of Diesel in third, and the 19 of Scoutbonk in fourth. So we're green flag racing once again here at Atlanta for stage number 2. They go quick in this game. Blink and you miss them, like Michael Walter said, in a blink of an eye.
Very true. As we're single file on the inside line already, a couple guys hung out up top, and the 19 of Smokebunk really putting his nose in there, gonna take it to the bottom on the inside of the 22 as they go into 3.
And I know Scout's a great qualified guy. He knows how to set up a car. One of the things I've always questioned about that 19 is how long can he maintain that speed and what happens when he starts to get swallowed whole by traffic. And he's doing very well. Right now we're watching the 95 of the Bear, the Pied Piper, but behind him the action is starting to heat up as we get through here. We're on the 19 of Scoutbonk on the outside with Max in the 20 car behind him, pushing him, but Scout's trying to bob and weave, sew his way through traffic like what's the seamstress for a band?
Sure. I don't know that one, but I want you to
Tiny
take a
Dancer, come on!
Oh, sure. I want you to take a look at this 8 car here, Sloppy Joe. Season 1 driver, started at the tail end of the field, and has already worked his way up to what appeared to be about 8th.
We're trying to get our cameras on Mr. Sloppy Joe. My favorite food, by the way.
It does sound good for lunch. I could go for some lunch.
I think your wife already made lunch, so I don't think she's going to make another lunch.
No, I'm good for this race to... You know what, let's just wrap and we'll go have lunch. We'll be back at the start of stage 3.
We're at the real Trek. They could have just brought us lunch.
Craft services, where's it at?
Man. Jeff Gordon's nachos back at Daytona. Oh, I love how everyone's like, he's just eating a giant plate of cheese. We're still trying to find the 8 car of Sloppy. There he is. And here's the thing, is Sloppy got, I wouldn't say a lot of grief from some drivers, but a lot of the community was like, he's Mr. Content, Mr. Content. And this offseason, he's shown, no, I'm Mr. Driver.
I think he has shown that very well. And, a lot of people didn't think he would hold up well in the PlayStation side of the Pro League. He held his own. He did a great job in Season 1. And I think it'll be interesting to see as he returns to RCR for Season 2, what they've got in store for this season.
And Sloppy putting himself in 4th, working his way around the Bear in the 95. Now he's on the bumper of the 19 of Scoutbonk as we come down the front stretch. Your race leader is Smokefan with Diesel in 2nd. But Sloppy's one of those guys where if you tell him he can't do something, he's going to do it. If you haven't noticed, I don't know if you follow the Core series. Those guys kept making fun of him, saying, well, you're only winning because you're on a wheel. You're only winning because you're on a wheel. So one race, he raced an entire race on a controller and won. And because Drive-Thru, one of their admins and content creators for that series, does something called a clown reels, we're watching Sloppy now move his way to 2nd, pushing Diesel in that 22 around Smokefan. Sloppy said, well, hey, clown reel, by the way, I'm on a controller. And called him out right after the race.
Well, there you go.
And did the unthinkable.
And as we can see, I mean, he's a man of many talents, and he's working his way up to the front right now. A little bit of a bump there from the 19. Is able to keep it under control, though, and keep running down that 22.
Yep, and you got to wonder, though, I keep asking this question. We talked about it, the cheese grater of tires here at Atlanta. How much is he pushing that car, though, to stay with this front group? He's now in second, but once those tires start to wear, that car gets a little slippy, grippy, tight, if you will say, and loose at the same time. How long can he maintain this position? Because he's got 3 good drivers breathing down his neck right now.
But as we can see, this 5-car breakaway has started to pull away from that second pack. So worst case, he's going to fall to 5th and still be pulled right along with these guys. I think he's made a good move here, even if he is pushing his stuff hard, to get the track position, get up front. Because if a caution comes out right now, he is in position to go get 4 tires and come back out up front.
And Bear's starting to fall back from this group of 4 now, trying to stay. He's about a car length and a half away from Smoke Fan, your eNASCAR Heat Pro League champion of Season 1. But it also may be the setup that he's been running, because Bear has that situation where after about 6 or 7 laps, the car just falls off a little bit, and it takes them a little longer to get that momentum to suck back up to this group. But behind them, they are slicing and dicing. But this action up front is where we're going to keep the cameras, because we're watching the 22 of Diesel, the 8 of Sloppy Joe, the 19 of Scout Bonk, the 14 of Smoke Fan, and the 95 of the Bear just walk away on their own trip.
Walk away as Sloppy makes a move to the inside on the leader. I think we're going to see a new leader here in this race.
Sloppy Joe to the inside off of turn 4. He's going to pull a slide job on the 22 of Diesel as they come down the front stretch. Give that lap. New race leader, the 8 machine of Sloppy Joe.
But he may not have it for long, because that 19 is coming. Well, as it appears, we go under caution.
We are under caution. I hear the engines lifting. The motors are starting to settle. The drivers are getting in line as another caution has hit the track here. And that is caution number 4 of the day.
That is caution number 4.
I was
We're
never
getting
good at math, if you can't tell.
ever closer to that 6 to 8 number that I gave.
Oh, and I'm watching right now of our in race, and it may have been Bulldog, or Bulldog just might have gotten some retaliation done on him as he's spinning around down in turn 3. I'm sorry, turn 2. Now he's back on this track in the backstretch.
So for those asking in the chat for a rundown of drivers while we're under caution, we'll list out car numbers and names. In the 1 car is Jason A.
I call him Jasana.
Jasana? Sounds good.
Probably going to punch me for saying that.
Number 2, the Trans Am Blue. Number 3, Racehead. Number 4 is Mike RPM. In the number 6 car, Cheesa. In the number 8, there is Sloppy Joe.
Our race leader.
Number 11 is the Beast of Asgard. Number 12 is Pat's Ace. Number 13, Galen. Number 14, Smoke Fan. In that 17 machine is Too Fast for You. In the 18 is DK Brown. 19, Scout Bonk.
And the 20 car is Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. The 21 is Slade. And the 22 Pennzoil Penske machine is Diesel. Parker, an eNASCAR Heat Pro League driver, driving the 24 machine. Flash 9 in that 31. The 32 is being helmed by Coke FN. Dagger is driving that 37. The 40 is Max Boost. The 41 machine is driven by J-Mons, the crew chief for Jason Keffer in Season 1 of the Pro League. That 42 is driven by Bags. And then G Sin Season is traditional 43. G Cincy is a super speedway racer. That man will put you through your paces at a super speedway. Bulldog, we've talked about him a lot, is driving that 47 JTG Dordery machine. I think I said that name right. I always butcher that name.
Close enough.
Yeah, unless you're doing voiceovers and they yell at you and tell you to do it right. The 48 is OGR 48. Keffer is in the 88. And then, of course, your driver, the Bear, in the 95.
Absolutely. So there's your rundown of the field and who's in what machine. And Zane, it appeared everybody came to pit road there.
Yes. Well, after that long stint of green flag racing there, everyone pushing it, those front 5, that's not what they wanted to see, was that caution come out. But at least now they're going to get a free shot to get some tires, get a little bit of adjustments made on that car, and hopefully Bear's going to figure something out in the balance.
And we'll see. All it can take is one small adjustment, and your car can come to life here, especially on a long run like we've been having.
And Chad, as we're hitting in stage 2 right now, my question for you is, you guys have watched the race. Who's your picks at this point? Who do you think will win stage 2 of this event?
That is a great question, Zane. That is a great question. We've seen a lot of names up front today.
Yeah. And Sloppy's going to lead us to green here once again. with Diesel on his outside, Smoke third, the 19 of Scout Bonk fourth, and that 48 of, I think that was OG, right? OGR, yeah, OGR 48. Wish it was Kurt so I could be like, OG Kurt.
Looks like we're getting some votes in here. Diesel for stage 2 from K-Taddy. Let's see. Sean Tattersall says the 32 or 47 car is going to win this race.
Oh, okay.
From the back, thinks the 12 and 88 have those long run bangers.
Keffer has been known for fuel mileage. Let's take a look. Green flag is out as we're racing once again in stage 2 at Atlanta for the Sunday Showdown here on NASCAR Heat 4 on the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel. Sloppy Joe leading him into turn 1 through turn 2, and Diesel on his outside falling back. He's getting pressure from the 14 and the 48 as we come off a 2.
Trying to manage both lanes, but allow Smokefan to get a nose in there, and now he's going to be stuck on that outside. He'll jump up in front of Diesel, though, and see if we can keep getting that push on the outside.
I think Sloppy's car is going to be one of those middle-run cars. It's going to take him a couple laps to get into that rhythm, that car to warm up, because we saw him do it last stint. But Smokefan is one of those drivers that he's just fast always at the start of the race.
Yeah, he fires off hot, but he's going to fall back a little bit. As we saw a little bit of contact there between Diesel and another car to the inside. Are we starting to get impatient, or is it just that big bounce into one?
After that big one and then the second incident, about 10 laps between each other, I could definitely see people getting impatient at this point. The stages are starting to wind down, the laps are starting to get shorter and shorter, and before you know it, it's going to be an end of a race.
And that's going to be the key, is when do you push the go button and get up front?
Well, if you're Smokefan or the Bear, it's probably right now.
It certainly looks it as the Bear peeks to the inside of OGR. Doesn't quite make a move yet, but just reminding him it could happen at any moment.
And we're watching a lot of these guys use that middle groove. Smoke right now trying to get that momentum off the high line as they come off a 4. That's going to open the door for the 48. Inside goes OGR being pushed by the 95 of the Bear. He's going to bring the 12 with him, smoking no man's land as they go through 1 and 2.
It's just a little early to be trying to run that high line for momentum. Tires aren't quite worn off enough yet, and guys behind you are starting to get impatient and make moves.
And chat talked about him earlier, that 88 machine. Oh, the 42 to the outside wall. That's going to be Bags. Big wreck. That's definitely going to bring out a caution as they race back to the line here off of 4. Waiting to hear those horses lift. No one's lifted yet. Wait, nope, there they are, stacking it up in 2. Ooh, that looks like the 405 at LA right there at all times.
That did not look pleasant.
Oh, man, that makes you pucker. Wow, that was a hard hit for the 42 machine right there.
That was a big impact, and it appeared he rebounded back across the field. Couldn't tell, but he may have got a couple others in coming back across the track.
And before that wreck came out, I was going to talk about it. Chat said they thought Keffer had a piece. The 88 machine. He's actually in that top 5 right now.
Man, I think we're starting to see a lot of guys cycle up to the front. A lot of talent up there with that. The 95, the 48 of OGR, the 88 of Keffer. Sloppy was up there. I think, like you said, if that run had gone on, I think we'd have seen him back up front. Smoke is still up there.
Yeah, but let's talk about the 12 of Pat's Ace. That guy's a driver. He's a wheel man. You put him in behind the wheel, he'll get you some wins. Right now, late in the stage 2, he's now put himself into 3rd, sitting back behind your driver, the 95 of the Bear.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good spot because you're going to start on the inside if you hold that off of pit road. You're going to start on that inside lane. There's a good opportunity to be able to work your way into 2nd and eventually up into 1st.
Short stint, about 3-4 laps right there. Do you pit or do you stay out?
The way this race is going, you might pit, but you might only pit for 2.
I don't know if anyone's going to take 2. I think they're going to take 4 fresh Goodyears and a full can of virtual Sunoco race fuel.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys who've fallen into the back maybe looking for that track position to get up front and get some of that clean air.
And that's definitely one of those things. We saw Sloppy do that, but Sloppy with his car and just I think how he has that set up, he got swallowed like Boba Fett in a Snarlack pit.
Yeah, but all it takes is a little bit of air pressure, a little bit of wedge, and he might be able to get back up front, Chewy.
I'm sorry, I made myself crack up on that one. I didn't think I was going to get that out with a straight face, but I did. Oh, but I watched Rise of Skywalker last night, so I'm
I
fully.
have not actually.
Yeah, my buddy has it on Vudu, and just it's not an ad. It's the truth. But here's the problem that I run into is I started watching it. First act is great. Halfway through the second act, I fall asleep, like visual kryptonite. Just, and then I wake up like halfway through the third act. And I'm like, what did I miss? Why is there so much fighting going on? What is happening?
I've struggled to get into the new movies. To me, they feel like such rehashes of the original.
And we're under caution here, so we're kind of just jabber-jawing a little bit. But that's what I felt about A Force Awakens.
Yes,
very
much
it was a New Hope 2.0.
It was, and even what was 8? It was Force Awakened, and then it was
The Last Jedi.
No.
Rogue One.
No, Rogue One's not part of the trilogy.
Well,
it's a one-off.
Yeah, it's the leads into a New
what's
Hope.
the one where they're in the desert thing, and old Luke makes a return.
That's Rise of the Last Jedi. That's Last Jedi.
Yeah, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That very much felt like another Empire Strikes Back.
But no one
Down
wants
to
the hand.
What? So?
You got to lose a hand for it to be Empire.
They were in a desert that
and no one
might
got
as
put
well
in
have been,
carbonite.
that might as well have been snow. That's all I'm saying. There were AT-ATs on a desert that might as well have...
So Hoth melted, global warming hit Hoth, and that's what it was left?
You know, that's exactly it. I think they were on Hoth and they didn't even know it.
We have an old rebel base on this planet that's all desert. This used to be snow, I feel.
You know, you'd think Leia would have known that.
No, man, she was T-posing in space. Oh, man, and the cars are getting lined back up here. Still, our race leader is going to be the 48. Let's see if we can't get our action on the 48 before we go green. But it is so hard to find these drivers at times. As HD Motorsports says, we need a better tool. Because the observer in-game for spectator mode is very frustrating and clanky as we're green flag racing at Atlanta. The 48 of OG, actually it's OGR 48, is going to lead us into turn 1. And Bear is already breathing down that Chevrolet's neck.
And we see the 12 out on the outside. He was third at the caution and restarted on the outside. He's going to fall back a few spots.
He's falling back, but right now we got a 3-car breakaway, a 2-car battle for the lead between the 95 and the 48. And OGR way out high, nowhere to go in no man's land, going to fall back to 4th. And there comes to the front, though, is that 95 of the Bear and the 14 of Smoke Fan.
Also, take a look at the 32 of Coke making his way up front.
And the 88 of Keffer still in that top 5 battle. And I think behind him is going to be the 8. There he is, of Sloppy Joe. He's now back up here racing for a win as they're going to single file out. Slade getting his nose chopped off a little bit. I think that was Galen in the 13, if I'm not mistaken. Who was in the 13 car? Galen in the 13, but single filed out all the way back to 12th. Nose to tail. You can almost can't slide a sheet of paper between some of these guys as OGR looks to the inside of the 12 car. Coming through 1 and 2. Smoke Fan trying to get a run on the high side. Bear's going to close the door as it's a drag race down the backstretch.
Saving grace for Pat's ace there. The leaders came up front in front of him, and he was able to get a pole down the backstretch and get back in front of OGR.
And that's really where you want to be. He's kind of in that Catberg seat a little bit right now. He's got the leaders pulling him. He's got the 48 pushing him. All he needs now is a hole shot, like a horse race.
That's all it takes. One shot, you can get out front and take the lead of this thing. But it appears Bear is setting a pretty blistering pace right now.
He was our pole sitter, so he definitely knows how to throw down the fast laps. But he's also got Smoke Fan, the man who does not know how to lift, behind him, giving him a push. While the 12 here, let's see if we can't go on the hood cam. Let's watch this battle between the 14 and the 95 develop in front of us here for a lap or two. Actually, you know what? Let's just do an old-fashioned crank her up if we can. You know, let's just do that. Back at Hot Atlanta, the Showdown on Sunday. 3 leagues for PlayStation. Watching the 88 of Keffer right now, getting the pressure from the 19 of Scout Bonk as he's going to look to the inside as we come through turn 3. You know, we haven't talked a lot about that 88 machine, but started almost dead last today. Now racing in the top 5, sitting 4th right now with the 19 rounding out our top 5 as we go into 1. He might actually win this on strategy.
Very possible. He is a bit of a strategy ace in the field, and he has really done a great job working his way from the back of the field up to the front. The 8 car along with him was able to make some moves, as you see him there about 3 spots behind Keffer. And this lead pack starting to break away a little bit. We've seen this a few times earlier. They get single file, they get a bit of a breakaway, and then start racing among themselves.
And that's probably the best part about this right now is if you really think about it, during qualifying, Keffer was shotgun on the field. He qualified dead last. No disrespect, just a statement of fact. As some of these other drivers came in late into the race, such as Sloppy, he then ended up starting last. And now we're seeing these back runners really start to use that horsepower and that strategy, and these pro league drivers, in a sense, for season 1, showing why they were professionals. They are moving their way, getting through this traffic. As we watch now Sloppy work around the 88 of Keffer, you got to wonder, he's falling back hard. If there's something wrong with that machine, or did he just push a little too much?
Or is he saving a little bit here, hoping for a long green run? That tends to be his strategy. But as we look at this lead pack, we've got 3 cars who started pretty deep in the field here. We've got the 8 car of Sloppy, who started on the back row, the 88, who started second to last row, and the 32, who started 2 rows in front of them.
Yep.
So we've got a few guys who've really made good plays to get up through the field, get into this lead pack, and give themselves a chance.
And I'll say this, that was going to complete lap 32 of 40 of stage 2. So we're almost to less than 5 to go here in stage number 2.
And I think it'll be interesting to see if this will be the telling moment of, is the 88 able to turn it on and start making passes, or did he use everything he had to get there?
And is he just using the cautions just to maintain at this moment? Because right now we're back up front. We're watching the leaders, the 95 of the Bear, the 14 of Smoke Fan, the 12 of, who was that again?
That would be Pat's Ace.
Pat's Ace and that Ford Mustang machine rounding out your top 3. They are still nose to tail, and Scout Bonk in that 19 has snuck his way up to 4th, getting pressure from the 32.
And we've now got a sizable gap between this lead pack and the second group, which is a little bit of a safety factor for some of these guys. If they get shuffled out, if the 14, say the 14 is able to dive to the inside of the 95 here, the farthest he's going to fall back is to that spot right behind the 88. He's going to be able to get a drag, get back with that group. He's not going to fall all the way back to that second pack.
You know what this reminds me of a little bit, watching these 2 packs? 2002 Talladega Daytona. You got that one pack that can just manage, maintain, put themselves nose to tail, know not to really battle it out, and pull away as Sloppy's the caboose of this first train, and then about 8-12 car lengths behind him is that second pack trying to get everything organized to put themselves up front. But look at this first group. Really 2 different lines as they go into the corners. Mid-low, mid-low. No one really knows where they want to go.
But you can see them get back in some semblance of a straight line down the straightaway. You can see the 19 of Scout peek into the inside, but other than that, they're in single file. And the guy that's leading that second pack, we talked about him an awful lot earlier, is that 21 of Slade. He's just not able to get that draft and get up front here.
Nope, and that's going to complete lap 35, 36, now being written of 40 here in stage 2. The laps are starting to wind down, and this is what the Bear doesn't want to see, is that 14 right on his bumper giving him a push like this, because it could change the fate of the race for him.
It's certainly been an interesting battle between these 3 up front, the 95 of the Bear, the 14 of Smoke Fan, and the 19 of Scout. These guys have been up front all day, and I think it might come down to one of these 3 at the end.
And Bear doing everything he can to keep that 14 in his rear view mirror. It got a little dicey to the front stretch. Smoke's going to look to the inside, make it a 2x2 battle. Now it looks like Scout was going to make it a 3-car battle. He gets back in line. Now the front 3 are starting to create a little bit of gap to the 4th car in line.
And that's what happens, Zane, when you start getting single file and you start pushing a little bit, and then you fan out a little bit to get yourself a clean hole. If you do it well and time it right, you can pull a little bit of a gap. But as we see, though, running that high line just isn't going to work right now. That 14 is too good, and the 95 is going to have to battle hard to stay on the outside.
Nobody wants to help the 95 like the nerd at recess when I was in school. No one wanted to play with me. But here comes Sloppy saying, I got you, Teddy Bear. Trying to get up to his bumper, can't quite do it. Bear still holding strong in second, while the 19 of Scout is beating the bumper off the 14 of Smoke Fan. Got a little wiggle there going into one.
Yeah, that push, man, it upsets the car, especially over that big bump. But I'll tell you, it shows you just how strong Bear's car is, that he was able to hold off the rest of that pack on the outside, really able to go side by side for a couple laps there, and slot right back into third.
And it was only a matter of time. I really thought he was going to be able to stay, maintain, but Smoke was getting strong runs, and he really threw that car into one to put himself on his door. Oh, there was a wreck deep back in the pack. That might end the second stage here. That is going to end the stage right there.
Sure is. And Smoke Fan getting the win in stage number 2.
That's going to bring the caution out. They're going to finish this stage under caution. About 2 laps left to go in this stage. So they're probably, in my assumption, is just going to pace under caution and then take was it a green checkered yellow?
Green checkered yellow?
I don't know how.
They'll take the green checkered under yellow.
There we go. Yeah. Chad, how you doing today? What's up with you guys? How's your Sunday? And yeah, that's going to finish the stage right there. Boom.
I'll tell you what, Zane. The guys in the chat certainly loved that crank it up.
That crank it up? I'm an old school NASCAR fan. Like, I grew up with it. That's probably my favorite aspect of NASCAR. Like, I miss digger camera at times. As we're getting ready to start the third and final stage here at Atlanta, the Showdown on Sunday. Then we have a new race later, the 41.
And it'll be interesting to see how he's able to hold on as they fire off, cross the line, and dive into turn 1 here. He's got 3 very good cars trailing him right now.
And I'm reading in driver's in-car camera stream team, and I didn't realize what it said until now. That is a clever name there.
That is very
good. All right. As the Bears now starting to get swallowed by the 47 of Bulldog. They're 3 wide back there for 4th as they come off of turn 2. And it looks like Smoke Fan's back to the lead with Scout looking to the inside. This is where the rule book and the patience go right out the window in this final stage.
And this is where it's going to get interesting, folks. Guys have been running pretty hard in the first couple stages, figuring out what their car needs to do just for this moment.
As we try to get to our race leader. Actually, let's ride with Sloppy. Sloppy looks like he's got a good perspective here. On board on that hood cam with that 8 machine of Sloppy Joes. We're watching this 3-car battle for the lead. And right now, it's Scout Bonk, Smoke Fan, and then the 32. If I remember correctly, the 32 is driven by, I think, Coke FN? Yes, Coke FN. See, I'm getting better at guessing names. And Coke's going to look to the inside of Smoke Fan, the 14 car, as they come off of turn 2. He's going to make it a drag race, but he's got help as we look down from the blimp cam and take a look. Your iRacing champion at one point in time back in 2010. Oh, Coke's going to slide all the way up.
Coke
He's
had
going to
a
get
hard checkup there in the middle of the corner. Not sure what happened to his car, but it's like he hit the brakes.
Either he hit the brakes or invisible brick wall, one of the two, because now Sloppy's going to move to second, and Parker's going to be sitting there in third. We haven't talked a lot about Parker at all day.
No, it's not a name that's been up front today, but he started deep in the field also, and has worked his way up to really start pushing the Sloppy machine as they pace, trying to catch Scout.
And Sloppy Joe trying to get up there to give him some lunch. Mostly a Sloppy Joe sandwich. And Parker, though, Parker's one of those guys, a lot of guys really don't give him the respect on his name that he deserves. The man is a former champion in iRacing, and he did okay. He won a race in Season 1. It was a different game for him compared to the simulation of iRacing. But here he is now running third in that 24 with the 42 of Bags right behind him. And we know Bags can put that piece up front. It's just waiting for his opportunity to strike.
And it's interesting to watch these guys as they start battling for third and fourth back there. These front two might start to check out a little more.
I just don't know if Sloppy's got the blistering pace at the start of a run. to really challenge Scout right now. Give it about another 3-4 laps. I think Sloppy will then get Scout's bumper and start making giving Scout some pressure. But look what's going on in the back there. Let's see if we can't get some action on this.
And while you flip through cameras right here, one thing I just saw there of the 8 car, he's really strong center off of the corner, and that gives you a really good run down the straightaways. That's going to help. When your car's not sliding around on exit and it's locked in, you're going to look like a superhero.
Bear almost made it 3 wide through the middle as they came through the backstretch into turn 4. But look at this, 2x2x2, 4 rows deep. No one's giving an inch. Everyone's taking a mile. Oh, and Bear gets into the 4. That's going to bring a big wreck. Caution out on the front stretch. And I think Sloppy may have actually almost caught this win, or this lead here.
He was closing down on him. Like I said, what I noticed was that he's really good center off of the corner. And it appears they're still running back to the line here. I think the leaders had crossed the line before the wreck happened.
They were.
And Sloppy just able to, look at him drive off the corner there. And he's so much better off the corner that he's able to get around Scout as we come to the caution flag.
New race leader, Sloppy Joe, as we go under caution here at Atlanta. And I agree with you, and it goes back to what we were talking about. I said give Sloppy 2-3 laps. You'll see him start running down that 19, and he did exactly that. And that's the difference between that mid to run long run car to that short sprint car. And you got to wonder how much of that car was just starting to push for the 19 where he couldn't get back on the throttle like he needed.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key, right? In center of the corner, you're just waiting for that nose to point, get back on the throttle. But you don't want to do it too early where the back end of the car starts to come out from under you on exit. Versus a car like Sloppy's, who seems to be locked in right now. He can just get on the gas whenever he wants to, and it's going to lock in and drive up off the corner really nicely.
I think we're going to have about 67 laps left to go in this stage. That time by as we're under caution here. Sloppy, your race leader. The 19 of Scout is second. Third will be Smoke Fan. Looks like, and there's the 41 getting the free pass. The 42 of Bags and the 24 Parker will round out your top 5. I think everyone's going to come down pit road. And if I'm Sloppy right now, I'm frustrated.
It's tough, right? I mean, you were just taking the lead. Your car's just coming in, and all of a sudden, hit the reset button.
And just like getting into its stride too. Really, just he was dry, like you said, coming off the corner so strong, middle off like nobody could compare to him. And now you got to start all over. Hope for another 7 laps to get your flex capacitor warmed up, just to be able to run him down again. Now it's down to your pit crew and the 4-man coming over the wall to get you 4 fresh tires and some Dr. Feelgoods.
And we'll see how it plays out for these guys. But like you said, even if Sloppy's able to come out pacing the field, is he going to be able to hold on to it for those first few laps, or is he going to be fighting hard just to maintain track position so that when his car does come in, he can get back up there?
And that's here's the thing: is as the laps get smaller and smaller, the lap count, we start getting closer and closer to that checkered flag. One or two things can usually happen that I've seen from calling these races. They go green, and it becomes a long man's game, or it becomes a demolition derby because everyone in the back thinks they can drive their way, past 20 cars, and you just start collecting guys. As most people call it, the Ricky Stenhouse effect.
And there are some things you can do on pit road to try and make your car a little more of a short-run car, but it's just going to be about how much you can actually do on pit road. And some of that is just built into the setup of the car. You're not going to be able to change it.
And that's one of the things, especially with this game, there's no track bar adjustments on pit road. So you're kind of stuck with what you built that car for before you sat there. All you can really do is change tire pressure and wedge to help you with that rotation issue. So it looks like Sloppy's figured something out, though, for this race. Mm-hmm. Same with Parker, Keffer. But I think Keffer's playing more the long con. I think he's got that fuel mileage strategy figured out. But we watch 12, 15 laps into a run, that car starts to fall back like there's a weight tied to the rear end. So it's only a matter of time as we get ready to go green here once again, I think. Oh, let's take a look. No, we got kicked. That's not a fun time. Hold on 1 second here, folks. That's the perks of racing on a PlayStation at times. Loading back in. Gotta love Time Warner Internet. Wait, this isn't my house.
This isn't your house.
That's right. I have Time Warner. He has some
I
better
can
internet.
confirm it is not the internet.
It's the PlayStation, all right? Just don't knock my old PlayStation, okay?
All I'm saying is there's a reason I'm primarily Xbox.
I'm primarily Xbox too, but I love both sides of the community.
I love both sides of the community. I don't love both consoles even.
And we're back here at Hotlanta. The drivers are 2x2. Scoutbong's going to lead them to green with Smoke Van on the outside. Parker's going to be third. That 40 car.
So what I'm seeing in chat is the 8 car of Sloppy Joe speeding on pit road to the back.
No. Ooh. Well, he's gone from the back to the front once already. He's got about 60 laps to do it again. Well, it's only a matter of time if he can put that car back up front and get it in the victory lane.
Looks like we've got a familiar name up there up front again. The 21 of Slade has worked his way back into the top 5, sitting there in row 3.
Yep, Slade. There's Bulldog. You also have the 40 car, if I'm taking a look at that name, because I'm guessing at names now. 40 is going to be Max Boost, sitting there in 4th. But Scout and Smoke Fan, double S's. The Scout and Smoke show as we get ready to go green again. Green flag's out.
And a big thank you to the drivers there. They actually waited until we were back in before they threw the green. Look at these
kisses,
guys.
hugs, belly rubs, guys.
These guys are good. Certainly not what we had on the Xbox side 2 weeks ago.
No. After we had that meeting and we said, everyone just please wait, and they just
didn't wait. 21 looking pretty racy right now. Look at him pushing the 24. Slade trying to work way back up to the lead early.
That's Slade Hulk right there. Slade's been in the back, in the muck, trying to battle his way through the weeds. Now he's got to the top 3 on the bumper of Parker. Now these two, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. You have 2 Pro League drivers stuck on the inside of 2 guys who are trying to qualify and get drafted for Season 2. Bulldog in 4th, Scout our race leader.
And a lot of talent up front right here as you see Bear in 5th. These guys are good. You're going to see a lot of beating and banging, and I think it's going to get interesting to see as guys start losing their temper and trying to make moves.
And, you know, you really don't get to see the hot-headedness of Slade, but you do get to see it when he's behind the wheel because he will move you if he needs to, just to remind you that, hey, you're in my way. Right now he's being very patient, getting pressure. Oh! Parker all the way to the inside. He's going to whip it around. Comes right back up in the track, takes out the 3 car. That's a 2 car wreck. That might not bring out a caution. We go back to the action up front here. Look at that, new race leader, the 21 of Slade. On his rear end is going to be the 47 of Bulldog. Scout, though, once again, 3 laps in, something happens, falls back quick. And take a look, there's the 6 car. We haven't seen the 6 car at all of Chiza since stage 1.
Yeah, Chiza starting to look pretty good here at the end of this race. He's really pushing these guys, pushing Bear. What's interesting, I think that 24 lost it by himself. I didn't see any contact there. I didn't see any help from Slade behind him. That was interesting. And you can see these guys, especially that camera coming off the corner. Some of these guys are really starting to lose their nose on exit already, and that's going to make for a tough long run.
As they say, loose is fast.
But it appears we're under caution, Zane, so we are not so fast right now.
Was that 6 for the night?
Oh, man, I don't know. I've lost count.
Oh, no. See, you get chat. If you've been keeping count, how many cautions is that? Because you got to keep Mike honest here, because I know it's nowhere near 8 or 11. God, if it's 8, I'm going to be so mad at myself.
A big thanks to the Mrs. Bear. She was yelling at the Bear, Josh, that we had dropped connection and was really the one who orchestrated this whole let's not go green until they get back in.
Mama Bear, man, you make me feel like a woman. That's an inside joke from Whiskey last year. Thank you so much. And now we're just waiting as they pace around here. Chat, we're in the final stage. You've seen the action. If you had 1 million credits to put on your driver to walk away a winner, who you betting on right now in this final stage as they run? You got Slade, Bear, Bulldog.
How many laps we got?
Oh, we got about 50-ish, about 55.
You know, this is a tough one here. I'm gonna go. Oh, That's a tough one. I'm going to go the 95. I'm going to go Bear. I've seen, especially late in the race, I've seen how aggressive he can get. And I certainly don't think the cautions are done. I think we're going to see one come out late in the race, and we're going to see just how aggressive he gets on restarts, because I don't think we've seen it yet.
I'm putting my money on Sloppy.
It's a good bet, man. It's a good bet. It's all going to come down to when that last caution falls, though.
That's the heartbreaker, right? So if there's no caution that comes out, I think Sloppy's going to have the momentum to put himself back up front. If another caution comes out and that 47 of Bulldog is still sitting in the top 3, I've seen this guy come off of turn 4 side by side, 3 wide for a win. I think he could do it again. And I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. New mixtape coming out, summer of 2021. Hot fire right there.
So chat's telling us we're on the 7th caution of the day. We are right in the middle of my window. I think we're going to be over 8, Zane.
Yep, I might win.
You might win.
Don't worry, though. I don't win anything. It's just a buddy bet. Because if there was money involved, me and HD would be completely broke from eSpark.
Entertainment purposes only.
And I really want to thank the drivers here today that came out and actually put this race on. Without them, we wouldn't be able to call this race. And a lot of them are actually streaming their perspective so we can see the lap count and kind of what's happening on the track all over the place. It's very difficult sometimes to know what's happening. So thank you to those guys to do that for us. In the chat as well, you guys coming out here. I know there's a lot of esports racing going on this weekend because, like I said, you can take the fan away from the track, but you can't take the racing away from the fan because we'll find a way to do it. And that's what we're doing here tonight. So thank you for coming out here.
Yeah, thank you, like I said, to the drivers for putting this on. This is the second race I've been a part of where the drivers have been the driving force behind getting this up and running. It has been some great racing on this PlayStation side, Zane. I think these guys are really showing just how good they are as Slade leads the field to the green with the Bear on the outside.
Yep, it's going to be Slade on the inside, Bear on the outside, the 47 of Bulldog going to be 3rd. Smoke Fan in that top 5 all day is going to be 4th. And then if I look correctly, the number 6 of Cheesa is going to round out our top 5. And I think is that the 11 of, let's take a look here, a Beast of Asgard. He finished 3rd in the championship for Outlaw. He knows how to win here at Atlanta.
The toughest part for Beast on the outside there is going to be the fact that he is 3rd row on the outside. That's going to be a tough place to hold on to. He's going to have to find a hole on the bottom quickly as we go into one here so that he can hold position and hopefully get his way up to the front.
Yep, green flag out once again at Atlanta, the Sunday Showdown. 3 leagues, Midnight, Venom, and Outlaw racing it out. Slade now getting some pressure from Bulldog in his left rear quarter panel, a couple of nudges and bumps. Not really enough to get Slade, out of his groove, but enough to probably irritate him a little bit. But Bulldog's just saying, hey, how's it going? How's your mama? Can I borrow a cup of brown sugar? Because I need this race lead. As they come through the front stretch, still Bulldog beating the bumper off the 21.
As Bulldog nips at the heels of Slade here into 1.
I like that.
You like that?
That was funny.
We have some updated predictions coming in on the chat machine. We're starting to see a total of 11 cautions being guessed here. That might not be far off, being we are just under 50 laps to go in the race. Some people saying the big one is imminent.
Yeah, well, we already saw a big one up in stage 1, about 15 cars involved. Right now, we see Diesel in that 22 move his way up to 2nd, and Bulldog falling way back.
Bulldog appears to have stumbled over a low step here.
And
He's
Smoke.
in 3rd.
Look at Smoke as well. Smoke fell back as well. Look at the gap between 2nd and 3rd right now. 8 cars.
Yeah, it appeared that Bulldog had a bit of an issue and threw some hefty blocks on the field. It has really scattered everyone as they checked up.
We have 2 Mustangs out on their own right now.
Caution is out.
It sounds like it. I'm listening for the horses. It looks like they are lifting. Whoa there, Nelly. We are in Atlanta, Nelly. I finally got him to laugh, folks. I've been trying all broadcasts to hit him with some zingers.
That was just because that one was so bad.
But it's getting hot in here, man. These driver suits are about to take all over the road.
I mean,
that's the 8th caution of the night right there.
That is 8th caution of the day. That is the high end of my guess and the low end of yours.
Yep.
As we move away from your terrible jokes.
You know what? I'm just a punny guy. Some people don't like them.
Ooh. Oh.
Don't worry, you could be bear.
Call this my last broadcast.
You know, it could be a bear situation where everything is just grizzly.
Oh. So bad.
Was it unbearable?
Oh, no. Oh. You're going to make me not want to ever do this again.
Oh. Don't be a Kodiak. No, that didn't work at all. I was forcing that one. Another caution here, Atlanta. Caution number 8. And right now, I really want to know what happened to Bulldog.
Yeah, it's interesting. I looked down at the chat for a second, looked up, and everyone was pretty spread out. Bulldog sitting there in third. But the whole field was 4 or 5 car lengths apart from each other. So I think I missed something by just looking down and seeing what everybody was saying.
And I was watching Bulldog's in-car perspective that whole time, and I just missed it because I was calling a race. And I looked down, and next thing I know, everyone's spread out. There's plenty of room between everyone. And it really looked like Smoke gave him the room that he needed to kind of get cleaned up and straight again. But, man, that would... Oh, you know what happens when you fat finger buttons on your phone, folks? You go to random videos.
So it's looking like we've got a few more caution votes in. From the back is thinking 13 to 14. Noko is thinking 17.
Ooh.
That would be a staggering amount of cautions for only, what, about 44, 43 laps to go here?
Yeah, that you're talking probably a caution every 3 laps at that point.
That would be tough.
And I think these guys are strong enough not to put out a caution, but guess what? The 47 of Bulldog did not pit that time.
Ooh, that's a bold move, Cotton. Easy E saying 15 as we get ready to go back to the action and see who won the race off pit road.
Yeah, so we have this is going to complete lap 114 when they come back around of 162. So we're closing in on the end of this race, and I think Bulldog's finally starting to put some strategy into play. Wait, no, here comes Bulldog. I think he may have missed pit road. He's now coming down on a clean pit road. No cars in front of him. But that's going to put him deep in the pack right there.
That is deep in the field. That's going to be a tough comeback. Don't count him out, though. He's been a fast car all day.
The 42, new race leader. The 21 is Slade on his outside. The 4 is going to be sitting in third. Cheese is still riding in the top 5. And Smoke just lingering in 5th. Hasn't left that top 5 all day.
He's been pretty good up there. Bear a little deeper in the field. That's one we've seen up front quite a bit today. Diesel also outside the top 5. It's going to be interesting to see as these guys now have to work their way through traffic to get back up front. Scout also starting there what appears to be about 9th.
I see that Caterpillar Dodge. I mean Chevrolet. Sorry, that was my Ward Burton impersonation. Of Sloppy Joe sitting back there. I want to say 8th. It looks like about 8th or 10th. Behind the 11 of Beast of Asgard. So he's moved his way back into the top 10. And we're green flag racing once again here at Hotlanta. The 42-year race leader with Slade on his outside as we go into 1.
Slade going in real high in the corner and allowing the 42 to get back underneath him. And he's going to drop like a rock here, Zane.
I think Slade thought he was going to have some help from the 22 of Diesel behind him, but didn't get the help that he needed right now. The 42 in no man's land with 2 lanes of traffic working on him. Cheese on the outside, the 4 car on his inside. I'm trying to pull up that driver's name because there's so many new names today. There we go. The 4 will be Mike RPM. We talked to him in pre-race.
We did.
He's a 6-foot giant of a man. Very cool. And there's Smoke Fan now putting the pressure on that 4 car. But take a look. There's your driver, the 95 of the Bear, working the inside with the help from our outside pole sitter of Scout Bonk.
Yep, he's clawing his way back up to the front. He's known for some aggressive moves. It'll be interesting to see as we start to close down the laps here if we see a cool, calm, and collected Bear or if we see an angry Bear.
I don't know, and you talked about it earlier, guys, losing the front end. We saw the 31 way back there in the back, a Flash 9, get a little slideways, opened up his own lawn care service a little bit on the front stretch, as we're seeing the 42 fall back like a rock to the Lakahatchee, and Smoke Fan as well. He's fallen back all the way to 10th on that outside.
It'd be interesting to see if some of these new names are working their way up into the top and able to stay there. I don't know if we've got some guys conserving or
Yes.
if we've got new guys starting to turn the heat up a little.
Oh, I'm going to say conserving. I think definitely this is the point right now. We're going to have, about 30 to go or so, about around there. I want to say these guys are going to start really saving. They still got to make at least 2 more stops for fuel. At least 2 more stops, but you're probably trying to do everything you can to stretch it as much as you can.
And we've got the usual suspects back up front. Bear in that 95 and Scout in the 19 pacing the field. The 20 car behind him, he's been in and out of the top 20. In and out of the top 20. In and out of the top 5 on and off today, Zane.
Yeah, but don't blink. You're going to miss it. Sloppy Joes are up for lunch because he's now back in the top 4 right behind this. What would you call it? It's not a tandem anymore. A trio of Toyotas.
It is. The Toyota's starting to work their way back to the front as Bear slides the nose a little bit there on exit. Opens up the door for Scout, Fluffy, and Sloppy to all come through, as well as Beast in that 11.
And Sloppy right now is the meat between this Toyota Sloppy Joe sandwich. All alone, 4 Toyotas, 1 Chevrolet, and Sloppy's doing what he can in that Caterpillar 8 machine to catch up to this 20 and 19. But is it enough? You see him, we saw him earlier, late in the run. He rolls to the middle better than anyone. We see him in that middle group doing what he can to save those tires, but it's still early for him. Give him about another 2-3 laps. That's when he's going to start running these guys down.
The fact that he's in third this early in the run is going to be dangerous for these guys because as his car starts to come in and theirs starts to wear out, he's not going to have to work his way around many cars to get to the lead and start setting sail.
Nope, and I'm waiting for the hashtag Sloppy Nations to show up in chat because everyone is a Sloppy Nation fan. I've seen it before. I see it every week, and he's doing what he has to right now. Got about a 2-3 car links on Bear, who's sitting back and forth, but still right on that bumper of the 20 car. Can't quite close the gap as Scout is starting to stretch his legs as we go into 1.
Well, and the reason Scout's starting to stretch his legs there is you can see down the backstretch cam, the 20 car just seemed to lose track of his car there for a minute and brush the outside wall going into 3. Seemed to slow up his line a little bit, and it's actually it's backed up Sloppy back into the clutches of Bear. Sloppy's really going to have to start working his way back up to that lead pack and make up the ground he lost.
Bear trying to run down Sloppy Joe like he's a bowl full of honey on his bumper to the inside. Got help from the 11, but right now Scout's getting pressure from the 20 car as they're nose to tail through 1-2.
Fluffy looking pretty good here in this 20 car in second. Just seems to be riding around, letting Scout know he's there, but allowing them to break away from the rest of the pack. That opens up the door a little bit once you've got a bit of a lead on the rest of the group that you can start making moves and not be worried that a small slip out is going to cost you second place.
And the only person who can beat Fluffy is Fluffy. I've seen Fluffy dominate races before, make simple mistakes like you point out, scraping the outside wall of turn 2. And right now he's sitting in second. He's one of my picks to win this race. And late with about 35 something laps to go here in stage number 3, the final stage of the night, he's now sitting in second and got plenty of room between him and the Bear.
Yeah, that 10 car length gap between him and the Bear is going to be a big factor here. Bear's got a long way to go if he's going to run these guys down, but Fluffy's just got to make sure he makes smart moves here because it won't take much before he's back with Bear closed up on his bumper.
Taking a look, 37 laps remaining, 36 next time by when Scout Bonk hits the line, and these 2 Toyotas are running away with it like they stole a bank because Bear cannot catch them right now. And here's something interesting as well. We saw Sloppy. He got shuffled all the way back to 6 in this run, and I think part of it is these Toyotas are so strong in the early run that they can grip it and rip it and let the big dogs eat on the bottom, while Sloppy likes that middle groove.
When I also think you could see there when Fluffy did get in the wall, Sloppy is so much of a momentum guy.
Yes.
And the moment Fluffy got in the wall, Sloppy had to check out, lost his momentum. Bear was able to get under him, and all of a sudden he's on the outside trying to make hay where nobody wants to be.
And look at that line right there. That gaggle of cars, nose to tail. You can't even get a sheet of paper as we're back on the action here. Oh, the 48 of OGR 48 is going to slam the 14. 14 is going to come down on Keffer, it looks like, trying to get a shot of this.
Looked like a 2-car spin in the back with Bulldog going
up in the air.
Head over feet there.
Yep. The
And,
31 of Fast 9, the 12.
He's had some interesting physics right there. That was caution will be out here as we cross the line.
Oh, it's definitely going to come out. Caution lights are on. Boys are starting to lift it here And that's going to be caution number 9 of the day. I'm getting closer and closer to 11.
I mean, I was originally right when I said over 6.
Yeah.
I should have just never said 8.
Yeah, I like to give exacts.
Hey, go edit that out.
It's live. We can't. We did it live. But you know who wanted to see this caution? That 95 of the Bear.
Yeah, that whole second group had started to lose touch with the field.
Oh, and I think Sloppy just got spun there under caution.
It
He's
appeared
around.
Yeah, I think, that whole second group of Bear, Beast there in the 11 car, Slade, all these guys, they weren't going to be able to run those two down. And so this is a good thing for them. We were about to see a 2-car battle for the win, and everyone else racing for third.
Ooh, and Bulldog almost door slammed the 8 as he spun around there. Barely missed him under caution. And we're going to probably go back to green with about 30 laps to go left in this, because right now we got 33 left to go in this race. And I will say this race is starting to heat up. And this 20 of Fluffy, look at him bobbing and weaving, inside, outside, just like a shark. Dun-dun. Dun-dun.
Just a reminder, I can go anywhere on the track I want to.
Yeah, and Scout's really dedicated that bottom. We haven't seen Scout at all be able to maintain his momentum on that high line.
What's been interesting is I think Fluffy here, we haven't seen him make a lot of moves to try and get that lead, and I think that's intentional. I think he is intentionally just pushing the 19 to wear out his stuff. I think the 20's got the better car and is just trying to force the 19 of Scout to make a mistake.
And sometimes you have to do that. Put some pressure on the guy in front of you, make him overdrive that car just a little bit more than he wants to, because usually as the race leader, you set the pace. But if you have a guy right there, sometimes it's the other way around.
It's very true, Zane. Very true.
Oh, you talk to me like my parents did right there. You're getting good at this dad job right there.
That's, it's starting to come naturally.
That's good, kid. That's good. Now
Good
go
for
do your
you.
homework.
I wasn't really listening, so I'm just going to say good job.
Oh, man. What's chat saying?
Chat, Mrs. Bear is saying that her living room sounds very angry.
Is it a grizzly situation?
Might be.
Is he a bipolar bear all of a sudden? Oh, sorry.
So sounding like the 48 caught the apron a little bit, got into the 14. 14 got into the wall, into the full field.
Ooh.
So.
And I can tell you, Smokes worked really hard of cleaning up any kind of incidents after season 1 and just how people didn't like the way he raced other drivers. This whole offseason has been him really kind of learning to navigate through traffic and not bring out those big ones. So he's beating himself up in that 14.
So point of clarification here, Mrs. Bear saying that it is not the bear who's angry, it is the rest of the Discord.
Oh. Mama Bear, our in-race reporter today.
She has been invaluable source of information.
That's just like Mama Bulldog. So if you don't know, for Outlaw, Mama Bulldog sits right behind Bulldog, his biggest cheerleader, and she'll actually give me the lap count sometimes during a race.
Tell you what, man, until the ability to watch these races as a non-participant gets better.
Yeah.
And the controls are better, the UI is adjustable. We're going to rely on people like Mrs. Bear and Mama Bulldog and people in the chat to feed us info.
Yeah.
It's very helpful, and your help is much appreciated.
And green flag, we're out racing once again. Fluffy Stenhouse on the outside is going to be the 95 of the Bear with Scoutbach in third. But don't blink because you'll miss it. The 24 of Parker is now back in that top 5.
Look at those 4 Toyotas up front. That is a strong group right there.
I feel like Joe Gibbs made a phone call all of a sudden. Was like, look, boys, we need you up front running it. Did you give them a call during a break or something?
Well, I can't say.
We'll take a look, though. That Caterpillar Chevrolet of Sloppy Joe on that inside line right behind Beast of Asgard. That one Chevrolet in the mix with all these Toyotas.
Sloppy certainly has made some adjustments to his car as
big
we
wreck
have
on
a
the front
wreck
stretch.
in the back.
Yeah, I heard that.
But that Sloppy Joe 8 machine, he's made some adjustments to fire off a lot better. He's able to hold serve with these guys and even was able to make up some ground there on that restart.
See if we can't get our camera on Mr. Sloppy Joe here. That Scout Block's going to lead him out of 4. It's going to Be it right here. We'll find out. Yep, there we go. And that's going to bring a caution right here. See them all lift. That's caution number 9, number 10.
I believe that is caution number 10.
No more cautions, guys. We've got 28 laps left to go. 28 laps. Don't put me over 11. And if I'm a betting man, I'm putting my money on Sloppy right now.
I tell you what, Sloppy's starting to look good. He's keeping his nose clean, and his car is really driving off the corner really well.
As all day.
The only downside, as he's made his car better on the front end, if this race were to go green, he would be in trouble in the long run.
Now that he's loosened it up, I would agree with you at this moment.
Looked like was that the 95, a Bear who stayed out?
I think
we've had a number of cars stay out here. See who comes down the front stretch.
That was your man, 95 a Bear, the 48 of OGR, the 41, the 42, and the 88 of Keffer.
Interesting strategy call. If my guess is, if you made the same call as Keffer, you've made the right call.
Yeah, about 27 laps to go left in this final stage here at Atlanta. These guys are going to at least have to make one more stop, though. You're getting anywhere between 19 to 22, 23 laps of fuel. You're going to have to make one more stop, and I think they're riding on one more caution ahead.
Oh, I absolutely think these guys are playing the caution game. I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys continue to stay out until a caution comes out in their window for the last stop.
Yep.
They'll stop under caution and ride it out, man.
Caution, our pit stops have wrapped up here. Drivers are getting back on the track. Now, I want to know how much Sloppy has loosened up that car in this early run. Like, will it hurt him on that middle drive off halfway through this run if it stays green? Or has he figured something out where he's got a good balance and handle of that Chevrolet?
It might be. All it takes sometimes is a little bit of air pressure, and your car can come alive for the whole run. It's not out of the question by any means. We have had a question from chat. Noko has asked, have we had any green flag stops? The answer would be no, we have not.
No green flag stops at all today. All yellow flag stops. But that's also the cautions have been falling within that pit window for them. Tires are starting to get worn out, and you just see it happen. Now, this is the first time I think we've seen 5 cars stay out like this and not pit, as we're on board with the 8 car, and I almost want to ride with him on this restart.
I think we should. I think we should stick here on the hood of the 8 car, because I think it is about to get
Galen in the 13 just
interesting.
Forgetting where the throttle was. All right. Flag is out once again in Atlanta as we're on board with Sloppy Joe for a lap around Atlanta in traffic.
As you can see, those guys with no tires up front really sliding around, while the 8 of Sloppy and the 13 ahead of him look a little more planted. That's going to be the difference, is these guys who don't have the grip left in the tires up front are chased down by these guys who just pitted for 4.
But that can also become moving roadblocks or rolling roadblocks for them too, because now you have to navigate around someone who doesn't have the handling in the car. And looking around him right now, it's just guys are windshield wiper driving right now. Left, right. You hear a lot of beating and banging behind him. Single foul in front. He's running too wide with the 42 on his outside as we come off a turn 2. And there goes Keffer to the outside wall. Those tires just gave up and went away.
Absolutely, and the downside of trying to get around guys with old tires, you're going to burn up your stuff trying to do it. As he gets pushed to the outside by the 14 there, going to give up a few spots, but he slots back in only about 2 spots worse than he started.
Yep, right back behind the 11 of Beast of Asgard. Beast of Asgard is going to get in line behind the 14 of Smoke Fan. Those two are Outlaw Nation drivers, so they're going to work together a little bit here as they try to work around Galen. But don't blink, don't, because we just almost missed it. We caught it in the blink of a camera there. But we have a new race leader, Fluffy Stenhouse Jr. in that 20.
That 20 car's been really fast here at the end, towards the end of this race. Was really putting the pressure on the 19 of Scout before the caution. And he is. I think we're going to see him drive away a little bit here. And I wonder if he's even having to push the car that hard to do it.
Well, you got to think, he didn't stay out, but the guys who did stay out have fallen back to 5th on back now at this point. So that top 5 is now sitting from 5th on to 10th. And these guys, these first 4 cars are the guys who did pit. But you have the 14. Ooh. That front end almost given away on the 20 there as they come off a 4. That's going to let Smoke Fan and the 11 of Beast of Asgard and the 8 of Sloppy Joe get right to the bumper to create a freight train, and they're starting to step away from Bear in that 95.
Yeah, Bear in that 95 seems to have lost a bit of the handle towards the end of this race. Not able to hold serve with these top 4. But I think, once again, look at Sloppy there in 4th. He's just nice and smooth, Mr. Consistent, getting it off the corner without sliding it around, and that's going to be good for tire life.
And Fluffy's got no friends. Maybe Sloppy's going to come up and give him a push because Beast of Asgard is giving his buddy Smoke Fan the run of his life right now as they slide in front of the 20, move Smoke Fan to lead, Beast of Asgard to 2nd, and Fluffy back to 3rd, while Sloppy's watching on from 4th.
A Ford, 2 Toyotas, and a Chevy pacing the field here out front as they begin to walk away from 5th place Bear and the rest of the field.
And I just think those guys back there in 5th on back just don't have the tires or the handling right now. But these 4 are in each other's tire tracks, locked in place. You see them kind of wobble a little bit. They're playing follow the leader. They sneak out a little bit. You see Sloppy doing it there to see where the line is, where they're going to the corners. Fluffy trying to sneak down to the inside, trying to move Beasts of Asgard out of the way some as they come through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, that freight train, choo-choo, diving into 3.
By contrast, you can see the racing in the second pack as Parker moves Bear to the outside to take over the 5th place spot with Scout right behind him, and Bulldog working his way back up to be 3rd in that second group.
And those 3 might be able to run down Beast of Asgard, who is now fallen back to 3 car lengths as we're still riding with Fluffy in 2nd with Sloppy Joe in his rearview mirror. 18 laps to go, Mike. 18. We're wrapping up quick here, and this could be the time with that 20 and that 8 to team up and get around that 14.
And you know what? If this run keeps going, the 8's not even going to need to team up with the 20. His car is going to, I think, come to life even more, and he's just going to blow the doors off these guys.
But he's got to watch out. The 11, a Beast of Asgard, slipping and sliding, bobbing and weaving like Mike Tyson in a heavyweight bout. He's looking for a line and a groove to get around him. Can't quite do it. So now you got to be rear view mirror driving plus front windshield driving as you go into 3.
Like we talked about, you can be focused as much as you want to be out the front, but you got to keep an eye on your mirror and make sure you're not leaving a door open for the guy behind you to take that spot away from you while you work over the guy in front of you.
And you've seen Sloppy change his line here a little bit. Instead of opening that door a little bit through the corners, he's trying to stay as close as he can to that yellow line, even off exit, because we've seen a lot of passes happen off that drive off the corner down the bottom lane.
Yeah, and you can see him starting to feel it out. Is his car going to be better than Fluffy if he holds it a little tighter off the corner? You know, we'll see what Sloppy's able to do there. And all 4 of them really still pacing the field a little faster than the guys behind. Bulldogs pulled into 5th. Bears back into 6th. It appeared to be the 40 car, or maybe the 41, back into 7th.
That's the 21. Oh, yeah, no, that's the 40, and the 21 behind him.
Yeah.
And here's Keffer about to go a lap down. Hopefully he'll just move out of the way, let these leaders race. As Fluffy looks to the outside, he's going to battle Smoke Fan for the lead, possibly use Keffer as a pick. Sloppy Joe's trying to pick which lane he's going to go with, outside or inside. He's going to give the room, let Fluffy come back in line, and still single file it out.
Be interesting to see what happens here as they catch this lap down car. There's a lot of tactics you can employ to try and get around a guy using a lap down car. Equally, there's as many ways for the lap down car to just be in the way. I am starting to wonder if the 88 pit, though, because he is holding on up there, and the leaders really aren't catching him.
He probably definitely had to pit, and just with fuel strategy, mileage. Oh, Smoke Fan clipped the apron, went around. He's going to get missed. Oh, hits one car, stays straight. Sloppy taking this advantage right now. It's a drag race for first place. No caution yet. They're racing to the line. 13 to go right now. Can he run down the 20?
Tell you what, that 20 is really strong on the outside. Sloppy was able to get a nose under him, and the 20 was just able to power through and get back in front and close the door.
And Smoke hit that apron on exit, and the car just jumped on him. Not much you can do. That's all.
I know.
Yeah. I can't believe that's still going on my YouTube.
That is still going on the YouTube.
Oh, you know what it is? It's my Streamlabs. Don't even worry about that one. I did a charity back in January for the Australian wildfires. We did a 24-hour stream back then, and I do not regret it, but I regret it because my body still hurts.
Those 24-hour streams are tough. We do one every year for the extra.
Oh, the
life
20
charities.
spun under caution.
Wow, and we've got a big one right there at the exit of 4. I think that was 4. That might have been 2. Get my corners mixed up.
Everybody checked up, and it just looks like no one got the memo.
That certainly cleaned out the field. Looks like the guys who stayed on track are going to race back around to the flag, but we are definitely going to have a caution here.
That put Bulldog up front right now. He's getting pressure from Beast of Asgard in the 11. 40 car in tow behind Beast. And Bulldog just got swallowed alive there.
Now, if I remember correctly, Bulldog was one of the guys who stayed out.
Yep, and that's going to help him here as the caution is out this time by.
So you can see right there the difference between fresh tires and old tires, as the 11 and the 40 able to just power right by him.
I just feel like that ran a little longer than it should have for that yellow to come out. Unless there was a debate.
I think it was one of those things where it happened right at pit road, and I think certain guys had already passed the line, other guys hadn't yet. So leader, basically they got a whole lap to race back to the flag.
That's a rough situation right there, especially for Fluffy and Sloppy, who got caught up in that situation. As that's caution number 11.
Mama Bear is saying caution number 10.
Yay, I'm still under.
Noko is saying 11. Easy E saying 11. So we've got a bit of a discrepancy on caution count.
As long as we don't go over 11, I'm fine.
We will see how many laps we got remaining, Zane.
We have about 9 laps to go, so when they go green, we'll probably have about 6 to go. It will become a slobber knocker, as good old JR says.
Yeah.
And but Beast of Asgard and Bulldog both stayed out right now. As they're letting everyone looks like get their lap back. They got caught up in that incident from what we can see here. As you see the 12 and the 48 fly by them. Beast of Asgard is going to come down. Bulldog's going to come with them. And we're going to take a quick break. And it's the Sunday Showdown at Atlanta Motor Speedway, virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. The drivers have finished their pit stops, getting ready to go green once again. And it looks like Bulldog and Beast of Asgard are battling a little bit here. Who's going to be our race leader? There are 3. What is going on, kids?
The word from race control is that they are giving the laps back to the guys who were involved in that incident. Appears to be some bad blood between Sloppy and Bulldog there.
I don't know if it was Sloppy and Bulldog or Sloppy and Beast of Asgard right there, because Beast was sitting back 11th in that, or 3rd in that line behind him and with him and Fluffy. But this is how it's going to run out here. You're going to see Parker is going to lead him back to green. Cheese on his outside. Beast of Asgard's going to be 3rd. A kitty cat just walked up and said hello. Like, hey, wow, okay, he did say hi. I'm allergic to cats, if you didn't know. And I can't tell if Parker just jumped the start or not. Yep, he just jumped the start.
Yep. We'll re-rack him here. And the consensus in the chat is that this was number 11, Zane.
All right, do not go over. They have about 5 laps remaining this time at the line.
So we've got Parker in the 24 there. We've got Chiza in the 6. The 11 of Beast. And who is that?
That 31 is a Fast 9.
Wow. That's a new name up front.
That's the one who opened up his own lawn care service through the front stretch at one point, coming off a full. Or, yeah, there you go. You want to. Okay. I got almost punched in the face by a cat with a microphone.
He is finding creative ways to make sure you know he's there.
I know. It's because I didn't bring my backpack this time. Hi, buddy. Mike is summoning his cat. And we are green flag racing. 4 laps to go here at Atlanta in the Sunday Showdown. Parker is going to lead them into 1, but no one is given an inch as they're nose to tail, door to door, 3 wide at certain instances of the track. Sorry, cat. Sorry about that.
Zane, so excited he's losing the keyboard here as we dive into 3. Still battling for
Look at
all
that.
positions.
Look at that. Just starting to spread out now, fan out. Parker taken away. Beast of Asgard sitting in 2nd. There is Bulldog in 4th. The 40, there is Sloppy Joe now. 3 laps to go.
Looks like we've got the
4 laps, sorry. 4.
The usual suspects of Sloppy in 4th, Scout in 5th, Bulldogs on the high side in 6th. And are they going to be able to run down these new guys up front, Zane?
Oh, man, if Parker has done this before, late in a run, put himself up front, he might be able to do it again. He's got Beast of Asgard. The road course ringer is what I call him in that 11, beating on his bumper. But watch, that 8 right there of that Chevrolet. He could actually make this race change as we got 3 to go this time by. Still, Parker's your leader as we come off a 2. And look at him push Beast of Asgard all the way down. He's like, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to do it below the yellow. Through 3 and 4. Parker still our leader. Single filed out behind him. Chiza sitting 2 wide with Bulldog back there for 7th. But all eyes on that 24-11. And there's Sloppy now moving himself up to 3rd. We talked about it all race. He rolls so well through the middle. But he's also got Scout Bonker, outside pole sitter, sitting in 4th.
Yeah, 2 really fast cars sitting there in 3rd and 4th. And the 11 there in 2nd has been fast all day. Parker's got a lot of cars to hold off here.
Yep. The flagman puts away the double popsicle sticks. White flag in the air this time by Parker, your race leader. 4 corners to go. White flag is out at Atlanta. Last lap in the Showdown on Sunday. He's leading the 11 of Beast of Asgard. Back in 3rd is Sloppy Joe. They're going to single file out. Sloppy in the 11. Try to run up to the bumper of Parker. Parker once again putting those left side tires all the way down to the yellow line, but this time Beast of Asgard tries to move to the outside. Can't quite do it. Closes the door. Parker's going to get shifted up by Beast of Asgard. That's going to open the door for Sloppy. It's a 3 wide off of 4. Is Sloppy going to do it? Sloppy takes it to the line. Parker wrecks. Sloppy wins in Atlanta. Big one, though.
Big one as we come across the line. What a finish, Zane. 3 wide coming off of 4. And the man, Sloppy, starting dead last on the field, was able to work his way up to the lead and get the win.
Wow. Like, let's just, coming off of 4, Beast of Asgard gives a little bit of shove to the 24, moves him out of the way. Let's take a look here. So it's going to be Sloppy, Scout, Slade, Beast of Asgard, Bulldog will round out your top 5. The Max Boost, The Bear, Coke FN, Diesel, and J-Mons will be your top 20. And then let's switch this over here. Woo-hoo. Boom. All right. And give us a few moments to catch our breath as we get ready to talk to our race winner here. I'm going to interview Sloppy here. All right. And we're back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Sunday Showdown, 3 leagues, Midnight, Venom, Outlaw, 3 wide, finish to the end. And that Sloppy Joe number 8 Caterpillar Chevrolet Camaro comes out on victory lane. There's tire smoke, and Sloppy Joe's being thrown in the air as I'm with the race winner right now. The man, the myth, the ERCR driver, Joey Sloppy Joe Stone. Sloppy, how does it feel to pull off that win?
Oh man, dude, I my hands are shaking right now, man. I couldn't believe that happened. That was just a crazy race. Super thankful to everyone who's helped me on the way to get even up to this level and to race against the best of the best. I had a feeling maybe just sitting back there in third, I had a feeling the 11 was going to make a move and do something, but I was not expecting the C's to part right there. And I took my shot. Thankfully, we saved the tires there a bit. Car was able to stick on the bottom, and we were able to persevere and get the win. I felt bad for Parker, though, man. He was holding his line, and I just saw that bump the 11 gave him, but I had to take advantage of it, and it feels so great, man. This is so cool.
You can hear the adrenaline pumping through his body right now. So, Sloppy, I want to talk to you about a couple of things real quick. So, first off, you were my one of my picks to win, so thank you for that. And I got the caution count tonight, so I double tapped, so I'm walking away a big winner. Thank you. But really what me and Mike started to notice is midway through a run, like probably about 6 laps into a run, your car would just roll so well through the middle, and you would start running those Toyotas down like they were standing still. What were you doing that was different, or what did you do to that car to really help you with that roll through the middle?
Well, really what I was doing, though, as soon as we were getting into the entry of the corner, I laid off a little bit, turned the wheel a little bit more than I think the other guys were, and just started feathering the gas. When you're in that draft and everything back there, you're really able to save the tires and save the rubber on them. And I honestly was okay in the back on the few of those runs because we were able to just save the car a little bit. And then when I knew, okay, we can make it to the end of the stage, or this is it, we can make it, I started just going full throttle and everything. And again, though, just incredible work by the whole entire Outsider Chassis group. You know, it's a good group of guys that I work with, and we all just strive for all of us to get faster and learn how to get faster from each other. And they just taught me how to race. You know, guys like, you know, Fluffy, Bear, Mike, Red, Scout, we all help each other out, and it's just been a blessing to be a part of such a great group of people, especially everyone who came together today. But I kind of lost sidetrack of what I was talking about there. I'm just so thankful, but just saving the car, and then when I knew it was time to go, I just went for it.
Well, he started from last on the field to first place race winner in the inaugural Sunday Showdown here on NASCAR Heat 4. Congratulations to you once again. Go hang out with your Outside Chassis buddies. Go hang out with Midnight, Venom, and Outlaw Nation, because you guys put on a heck of a show here at Atlanta. Congratulations once again, Sloppy Joe.
Thank you so much. And again, I got to say, these are the best guys in the business, man. It's a privilege to race against them. Outsider, Outlaw, Midnight, they're the best. This is the best group of guys, and all of them deserve to be up here on the big stage. And it's just a blessing, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, you go celebrate once again. I want a free Sloppy Joe sandwich after this broadcast, by the way.
You know what, man? I think I'm going to go make one for dinner, man. Honestly, I think it's a good time to make one and get out the old pot and the cooking book.
Yep. Well, congratulations once again, Sloppy. You have a great one. Mike, your final thoughts on this race tonight?
Man, that was just a phenomenal race. I mean, a lot of skill show by these guys, and not a lot of patience, though. There were a lot of cautions tonight or today. Oh, man,
I got you saying
you got me saying it now.
Well, technically it's afternoon time, so it's nighttime in Europe, so it counts.
It is. So 11 cautions on the day. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Yeah.
Although I was right with my original 6+.
I was right for the 8 over too. So
I just want to throw that out there. But no, it just a good race by all. An incredible finish. Like Sloppy said, I mean, he saw the door open and had to take it, and that just created an incredible finish. Obviously, the 24 of Parker on the losing end of that deal, but that's just the way it goes.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say.
Will.
To be a little cliche there, I've been it all night. Should be my middle name, but I agree with you. It was a heck of a race. These guys came out, they put on a show. Stage 1 was a little tame. We saw a few incidents happen. We really thought it was going to be the Bear, Smoke, and Scout Bonk show with Bulldog, a couple of dashes of Bulldog in there. But halfway through stage 1 and through stage 2, Sloppy Joe really showed that he understood what he had to do to put that car up front, hung out in the top 5. Great race by these 3 leagues of Venom, Outlaw Nation, and Midnight. Those guys put on a heck of a show week in, week out. They did it here tonight because there was no real NASCAR. And I got to say, we got almost a finish that you would see it. It took me back to 2001 Harvick Gordon, like 3 wide finish at the line like that. So once again, great race. Mike, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day for coming out here and watching the race with me and calling it.
Well, thanks for having me. That was, like you said, it was a phenomenal race here on what's otherwise a very quiet Sunday. So, again, congrats to all these guys. Congrats to Sloppy on the win. Mm-hmm. And for those of you watching, if you don't regularly watch these leagues race, you really need to. These are some really good guys running. And you support them and give them a little love.
Yeah, you'll see some of these guys racing in the qualifiers starting up this week for the eNASCAR Heat Pro League. You also can catch the Outlaw Nation guys starting up in January, or not January, but April on Saturday nights around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. These guys put on a heck of a show. If I remember correctly, Venom runs Mondays, and I do not know when Midnight runs. I'm sorry, Slade. You can yell at me later. I just don't know. But to the drivers, thank you for allowing us to call this race. Thank you for putting on this race tonight. To the fans, the fans, thanks for coming out and spending the past 2.5 hours with us to watch this action at Hotlanta. And to Roundabout Productions, thank you for putting on a lovely event and a lovely studio presence so we can get this show out. Until next time, we'll see you at the track. Kisses, hugs, belly rubs.